Get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me the mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth is, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 down. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. The mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth is, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 down. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah, reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth is, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the proper's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost in the door, searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, shalom. Welcome back to Our Hidden History Radio. Our Hidden History Radio. Oh, Captain here. He be mad as hell. We didn't do it properly. Anyway, we're back. With chapter. What chapter we? 19. Chapter 19. We're still dealing with the rise of the Moors. We're gonna enter into the rise of the Moors. But I want to backtrack on a few things real quick. Real quick. Oh, the ninja thing? Well, after this. Because LaQuat is adamant about that dart stuff last week. But before that, I want to go to what is it?
I know you said you want to deal with Daya.
Yeah, Daya Kasela. Go to Kasela real quick. Kasela, and him being a Berber king that fought against the Muslim invasion, and with the help of the Byzantine Empire had pretty much established themselves in North Africa. So Kasela Kusala, whatever his name is, he, with the help of the Byzantine Empire assistants, were able to stave off the Islamic invasion of that region. Okay, so Kusala, read that real quick. Read that.
Kusala Ibn Muzam was a 7th century Berber Christian, king of the kingdom of Atava.
Right, a Berber Christian. So keep in mind Berber Christian. Keep in mind. Go ahead.
And leader of the Araba tribe of the Imazigin, and possibly Christian king of the Sahaj. He is known for prosecuting an effective Berber military resistance against the Muslim.
Go ahead. Keep going.
The Muslim conquest of the Maghreb.
The Maghreb would be Mauritania, Carthage, Algeria, all northwest Africa, northwest Africa, that region. Go ahead.
In the 680s.
In the 680, go ahead.
His name means leopard in the Berber language.
Wow. Go ahead.
Kusala died in the year 688 fighting the Muslims.
Right, go down. We're going to see who became his successor. Biography. Let's go just jump down to who his successor is. Come on. Okay, go back. Okay, see right there. So see also go back up to the top. Go to the top. It should so go to under his picture. It should say that's a whitewash picture of garbage. It says religion, Aryan Christianity. Successor is Daya. Click that. See that? Daya. Read that now.
Daya or Al-Kahina.
Al-Kahina means the priestess, because she was of priestly lineage. You brought this out in the Jewish Encyclopedia. We brought this out. Okay, this is a Levite sister. Go ahead.
The prophetess, Arabic, was a Berber queen and a religious and military leader who led indigenous resistance to the Muslim conquest of the Maghreb.
Now you're going to find out why she's called the prophetess. It's very heavy. Keep going.
The region, then known as Numidia. She was born.
Numidia is part of Carthage. Go ahead.
She was born in the early 7th century and died around the end of the 7th century in modern-day Algeria.
Died around the 800s. That's all I really want right now, because we dealt with her last week. Now, so Daya took over. Her name was Dahaya Ibn Tabitha. Y'all remember that name? Y'all remember that? From Jewish Encyclopedia. She was a Berber queen. Okay, we be touching on her again. She was a Berber. Now, give me that book, The Roman Emperor. I know I have it. I left it home, but I know we have it. All praise to the Lord. I managed to keep it so that I don't got to keep bringing it back from my house. I think it's called Roman Emperor, something like that. Emperor. No. With the it mentions
with the
Septimius Severus is in it. Something Rome. I know I gave it to y'all.
Last week.
Yeah, last week. Oh, this was the image. It might have been the image. Remember I have y'all? Yeah, it's the image. Go to the image of about the gladiators. The images that was sent to y'all. Brother sent the pages regarding Septimius Severus. He was also a Berber as well. Not Judea, no, that's Spartacus. I didn't say Spartacus, I said Severus. Septimius Severus. I didn't say Spartacus. It should be an image, like images. It's like highlighted pages regarding come on, y'all. Let me let the look for it. You don't know? All right, Jay, you have to talk, man. I'm gonna find it for them. I'm gonna look through it. I'm gonna look through it and find it. Watch.
Well, while Deacon is doing that, I don't know if we did a proper introduction, but we would like to welcome Captain Gideon onto the Our Hidden History radio show.
Shalom.
All right?
Shalom. All praises.
The mighty Captain Gideon. What's going on, man?
Hanging in there, man. Glad to be in Philadelphia. City of brotherly love.
All praise.
Hey, listen. I would just warn him. Make sure you look for the brothers in purple.
Yeah.
Anything else we don't know about. All right?
Philadelphia.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's the only way you're going to get the love.
That's the only way.
Purple
man.
and gold.
That's it. Keep it in the family.
That's right. And also, Israel, make sure we get those likes up. All right? We get the likes up. Make sure y'all hit that button and subscribe. Like and share and subscribe to our Hidden History Radio page. All right? Our Hidden History Radio page.
I have it. I'm going to send it.
All right? And also, like, share, and subscribe also to our In the Classroom Philadelphia page also. All right?
Also, Iuic Boston, you could like that page as well.
Like are yours?
Hold up, man.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Damn, man.
You got to pay for advertising. You got to pay for advertising.
Hey,
All right.
Boston, send your arms before Philly like y'all page.
I sent to y'all. I thought y'all had it, but now you have it. You have it now. Yeah, okay, I did have it. Okay, that's called the book is called The 10 Caesars by Barry Strauss. I'll give y'all that. I don't give away many books, but I will give y'all that one. Because that one's pretty, it's not much, All right. So let's go to so far we have Kasela, okay, a Berber king who was a Christian. And we also have El Kahina, a.k.a. Daya, or who's also a Berber queen who became a successor. And she was very religious. We're going to find out what that means. All right? So this book goes into Septimius Severus. Okay? This book goes into Septimius Severus. So I'm going to read the, hold on. The highlighted parts. Page, let me see what I want.
Blow it up some.
Page 230, hold on. 38. Yeah, go 238, page 238, the highlighted parts. 10 Caesars out of Africa. We're going to start where it says Lucius.
That's 238?
Yeah, that's it. It's not highlighted, though, for some reason. Mine's highlighted. Go to the one I sent y'all. Yes, sir. That's highlighted. This is just blank. It's blank. That way we know we're going to read from. To give y'all in the background as to a Roman emperor, to show that the Roman Empire that ruled, that had gained some dominance or established some colonies, to help Kasela, they were Israel too. These go up to the top what it says on top.
Out.
More. 10 Caesars out of Africa. The 10 Caesars out of Africa. Read that. Lucius, Septimius. So the book is called 10 Caesars, and it's mentioning one particular that came from Africa. Read that.
Lucius Septimius Severus.
Lucius Septimius Severus. Go ahead.
Was born on April 11th, 145, in the city of Leptis Magna.
Leptis Magna is Libya. That's where Hannibal's family is from. Libya. Come on, go ahead.
On the Mediterranean coast of what is today Western Libya.
Western Libya. Go ahead.
About 80 miles west of modern Tripoli.
Tripoli. Go ahead. Jump on down to the next part.
Leptis was an old city, a wealthy trading center founded by immigrants from Phoenicia.
See? Founded by immigrants from Phoenicia. That's Israel. Go ahead.
Today,
well, you can say the Canaanites first. You can say that. And then Jake later on took over. Go ahead.
Today, Lebanon. And also included native Libyan Berbers.
Native what?
Libyan Berbers.
Native Libyan Berbers. Native Libyan Berbers. Go ahead.
Carthage took control of the city until Rome destroyed Carthage.
Carthage took control of the city. Carthage took control of that city. Because the Canaanites, Sidon, or the people of Tyre, they established it first. Then, of course, we took over. I showed you that parts ago. Okay, ahead. Read again. Carthage what?
Carthage took control of the city until Rome destroyed Carthage.
Until Rome conquered Hannibal. Go ahead.
Leptis had been Roman for 300 years when Severus was born.
So Rome had dominion over that area for 300 years when he was born. When Septimius Severus was born. Go ahead.
A Latinized elite governed the town.
A Latinized elite governed the town. Go ahead.
But many of them, like Severus, had ancestors who spoke Punic.
Who spoke what?
Punic.
Go ahead.
A Semitic language.
He was Israel. He was Israel. Spoke Punic, a Semitic language. Go ahead.
Related closely to Hebrew and Aramaic.
See? Related closely to Hebrew and Aramaic. Go ahead.
And spoken in Carthage as well as Phoenicia. Severus spoke Punic as well as Greek and
He
Latin.
was multilingual. He spoke multiple languages. Go to the next page. This is a black emperor, okay? He was not no righteous man. He was a coon.
Right.
He was a Latinized Negro. We're going to get into that. He falls into the category of what you refer to as a Ladino. All right? He falls into that category. Come on.
That's good. Severus was Rome's first African emperor.
He was Rome's first African emperor. He conquered Rome. He's the one, matter of fact, keep reading.
Severus was Rome's first African emperor. But was he Rome's first black emperor?
Well, he was the first black emperor, yes. Go ahead.
We don't know. In spite of a variety of contemporary evidence, one written source makes him dark-skinned.
He was dark-skinned. Go ahead.
But it was written centuries later and is demonstrably wrong about other matters. One contemporary image shows him as dark-skinned.
There's portraits of him dark. There's images of him, ancient images of him black. Go ahead.
But it is an outlier, and besides, it comes from an Egyptian tradition that tended to depict men as dark-skinned and women as light-skinned.
Nonsense. That he was a black man, period. He was Berber. Berbers are Jakes. Go ahead.
It is possible that Severus was of mixed descent, Italian, Middle Eastern, and perhaps native Libyan Berber.
Why can't we just have him as black? Why?
Right.
Why? Why can't we just have him as black? It don't make no sense. It don't make sense. Come on.
But that is speculation. As is often the case, the ancient sources don't tell us what we would like to know.
No, what we do know is he's black. Period. He was black, all right? A Berber. Now, he was a Berber just like a Kasela was, a Berber just like Daya was. So let's get out of that. He became a gladiator and eventually overthrew Rome. Okay? He overthrew the contrary feathers. Are we good? Eight contract feathers. You good? You got Cap? You all right?
Hey, shalom,
You made
Cap.
it. You made it. All praises. Cap made it. He's here today. All right. Good.
Spirit of Christ.
All right. So now, what I want to go to? What did I want to go to now? Aside from that, go to the images I sent you. I sent you some stuff. I sent you some stuff in the group me, right? Hold on. Let me see. Don't spread it. Don't say it out loud. Let me see.
Come on, officer.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, it says shut
Man, about to break protocol.
Hold on.
Damn.
Libertines. That was last week.
There's a lot of different tribes on the panel.
Yeah, we got welcome Captain Joel back.
Sac passe.
Nah, let's keep it English, brother.
The language, man.
I hope you don't think we're doing a special on
Levi.
Overture.
Levi, oh man.
Cap, man, look what I bought, man.
Levi kind of took over today.
Look, man, look what I bought, man. See? See that?
Is that a Black Haitian cookbook?
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, brothers. I hope nobody's offended.
What? I was terribly offensive, Cap. Anyway.
Hey, shalom, offside.
Shalom, Cap.
Anyway.
Lord,
Let me
too.
fix this mic. Here we go.
Shalom,
All right,
Captain
so now. Let's get what I want. The Bretons, the image I sent you with the blue. I want that because we read last week about how the blacks were in the castles and the whites were the slaves.
Yes, sir.
So I want to show y'all something else that I wanted. That's what I wanted you to show initially before that, but this is good too.
You still want to bring the other one afterwards?
Yeah, bring that
Just to
afterwards.
link it up?
Yeah. Matter of fact, go to the other one first. Go to the other one first. Us being in castles. Then we'll go to this. This is before and after.
Right.
Somewhat.
It's in the group. Y'all got it?
Okay, that's good. You can show that image first. Okay. So they can see this image? All right. Y'all remember this image right here with the blacks in the castles fighting against Esau, trying to invade. I'm pretty sure y'all remember this. All right?
That was last week.
This is last week, right? I'm just doing a little bit of a refresher. All right, I remember this. This is the portrait right here of blacks in the castles. You see the king, the queen, the army, and Esau coming barefoot, naked, and all that fighting. All right?
Like the caveman that is.
The cavemen, pretty much, right. The cavemen fighting all that stuff.
One of our viewers last week was pointing out intricate details about the attack. Where you look at, we had shoes, garments and fringes. They come in barefooted with sticks and stones.
Right. Sticks and damn stones in
You
their
look
hand,
at
right.
it, you zoom into it. Esau
Yeah,
got
zoom into
sticks,
it. They're zooming to it.
stones, and he's barefooted.
They're barefoot. They got sticks in their hand, big
See-
logs. And
see, one dude got the red stone right there in his hand.
he got a red rock in his hand right there.
And they got the sticks in their hand, scrolled all the way down to the bottom of the page.
Barefoot.
All barefooted.
Now,
caveman
a prime
style.
example.
And if you look at the first toes, that's a claws. Dude got
The
claws.
toenails are mad long.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Toenails are mad long.
Barbarians.
Yo, so they the real savage.
Right. So, damn, Bigfoots.
Now we
Bigfoot.
understand when they came into among the civilized people,
Right.
that's why they was murdering and killing like
Right.
crazy.
Remember that article last week about Japheth? How they came, they were an invasive and violent people.
Correct.
That forced Japheth out of the land and forced him to move and migrate further east.
Right.
Okay? And they took over and assumed their identity. That's what they did. I'm gonna show y'all. Now, so look at that image. Go over to the right so she can show us, the civilized of us. Yeah, move the caveman out the way. You don't need to see them. You look over, you see the brothers. Okay. All right. There we go. You see us with the arrows there. And you see the king and queen in the window, watching in the window.
Right.
The king and queen in the window right there. You see the army.
Scroll down the page.
Scroll down the bottom. To the right. See them all there. The army back there on the back.
Yep.
All fully dressed.
First brother in the front with
Fringes.
like fringes.
Yep.
In the
Look
back.
like he's wearing fringes in the front.
As you can see, they got shoes. They got
They got
warrior
shoes on,
garments.
fully dressed.
We
have
have bow and
bandanas
arrows.
on.
They
Bow and
got
arrow,
sticks. We got
swords,
bow and
shields, all of that. We have all of that. Now, go to the article I want now. That's enough. If you want to see more of that, just go to last week's class. You'll see we went into that. I want to show what it says regarding our history. Now, Jez, you messed up because I was to bring this out later on, another time with the Moors, but it's all right. It's all right. I'll just go over it again. Y'all gonna forget. You know, a lot of people have horrible memories anyway.
Sorry, Deacon.
That's all right. Go not this one, the other one. Go to the other one. The other one, but us being not this one, the other one.
Come on, officer. Page 38.
Page 38 it says on it. Yeah, I want that first. Just to show.
That's not it? Come on, bro.
Come on. We had over this last week. It's the image. Give me a second.
Page 38, the C.
Page 38. That it right there?
Origin of the American Indian.
That's not it.
No.
That's not it.
American Indians? Oh.
Here, I'm sending it to you now.
He sent you right now. Bear just a second. I'm just backtracking a little bit. Those of y'all who may have missed last week, I am backtracking.
All right, come on.
Let's go. We got it.
Bro, it's right there.
Come on. Let's blow it up some. All you want is the underline part. Right there. Go ahead.
Many North Americans profess horror at the intermarriage of white and colored types, which is so common in South America.
So white folks dreaded the thought of intermingling with whites during the time when they enslaved us in this side of the world. They had laws. They had anti-miscegenation laws, or anti-mixing laws. They had. Go ahead.
Mark well then that the first contact of the Portuguese and Spanish with a darker-skinned people.
So remember, the Spanish and Portuguese were the ones who brought us over here as slaves to the Americas, such as North America, in South America. Those people dreaded the mixing of their people with ours when they had us as slaves. But Mark, he's saying, remember, prior to them bringing us over here as slaves, watch this.
Mark well then that the first contact of the Portuguese and Spanish
Our first contact with them, prior to the last contact with them, go ahead.
with a darker skinned people
With the darkness, our people, go ahead.
was the contact of the conquered with their brown skinned conquerors.
Was the contact of the conquered with the dark-skinned conquerors. So prior to them not wanting us to mingle around with them on this side of the world as having us as slaves, we had them as our slaves. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
And the darker man was the more cultured.
And the darker man was more cultured. More cultured. Go ahead.
More learned.
More learned.
More artistic.
And more artistic. You want to share that thing?
Oh, yeah.
More learned. Read it again.
And the darker man was the more cultured.
The darker man, meaning the Moors, Israel, was more learned.
More learned.
I'm sorry, what was it say? More what?
More cultured.
More culture. We had clothing, you showed you earlier. We had clothes, fringes, we were dressed, we washed, we took showers. We weren't walking around butt naked.
Right.
We had castles, we were cultured. I'm gonna show you right now. We're gonna show y'all right now how cultured we were. Go ahead.
More learned.
More learned, more intelligent, more sophisticated. Go ahead.
More artistic.
More artistic. Let's define that word, artistic. Artistic.
Hey, did you got the information I sent you?
I don't want to leave that out. We're going to get some more artistic, or artism, that's a word. Artistic. Artistic is having or revealing natural creative skill.
Innovative.
Creative, imaginative, inventive, original, expressive, inspired, poetic, eloquent, aesthetic, cultivated, sensitive, perceptive, discerning.
Damn.
There's a book called Black Inventors of the United
Right,
States.
exactly.
Majority
Yes.
of everything that's invented in this country are from black people.
Exactly. So artistic means we're the original creators. We are the original inventors. We're the original poets. We are the inspirers. We're the eloquent. We're the aesthetic. We're the perceptive. We're the cultured or cultivated. That's us. Let's see how. You got it?
Yes. I sent it to him.
Let's get that.
Okay, go to the first one.
Check this out. Y'all gonna like this. Let's see how learned and cultured we were. I figured I'd squeeze this in. We were discussing it last week. I figured I'd find a way to squeeze it in, and we're going to do it now. Squeeze it right up in there. Let's see. Let's get some details, because again, our history is not taught. It's not taught properly in schools. We're not educated. We are miseducated, and we've been miseducated for a long, long time. So I figure, well, you know what? Since Esau's falling apart, as you can see, the U.S. Capitol, America is unraveling at the seams.
Chaos.
Nations are laughing at America right now. Okay, we might as well just, as America falls, we might as well uplift ourselves as we watch her fall.
Exactly.
That's right.
With what we read, with the text we read on these people, which is our forefathers, would you say that wisdom came naturally given, God-given wisdom, or that wisdom was learned from our King Solomon in the past that was passed down?
It was all passed down. It was passed down, and that talent is genetic. It's with God. It's in us.
What's that?
It's just divine. It's just divinely given to us.
Jacob, the former of all things.
Jacob, the former of all things. Let's get that.
Jeremiah, I was
Jeremiah.
about to bring that up, yeah.
Let's get that. Jacob's the former of all things.
Jeremiah 10:16.
Yep. Let's get that. Jacob is the beginning of everything. Jacob is the beginning of everything. Hey, and everyone.
That's right.
How about that? That's something else going over your heads. It's okay. It's going to stay there. You'll figure it out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them.
The portion of Jacob, the them is other nations. Our portion is like theirs. Go ahead.
For he is the former of all things.
Because he's the beginning of every. He's the beginning of every. He's the beginning of everything and everyone. He is the beginning of everything and everyone. All things creative, original was from Jacob, from us.
All right. Can we support that with 1 Kings 4?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes.
4,
Definitely. Well, 30.
29.
Yeah, 29. Yes.
And this was our leader.
Uh-huh.
The leaders we had was those men Most High set up with the wisdom.
And he's Jacob. This is Jacob.
You know what I mean? Seeds of Jacob.
Yeah.
You want 1 Kings chapter
29.
29.
4 verse 29.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 4, verse 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore.
One more, verse 30.
And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt.
So whether it was inherited, Jeremiah proves that it's in your genetics.
Right.
Whether you was taught, I should say.
Right.
Whether you was taught this wisdom, it's in you. It's your genetics. It's
Right.
your
It's just genetic. It's in our
Genetic
forefathers.
makeup.
Read down to
your
verse
makeup,
34.
right.
Verse
going.
31. For he was wiser than all the men, than Ethan, the Ezrite.
Athan the Ezrahite, he's a wise man. Solomon surpassed these renowned men for their wisdom. Athan, Ethan the Ezrahite, go ahead.
And Heman,
Haman,
and
Calcol.
Calcol, and Dartha, the sons of Mahal.
right? These all men were all renowned for their wisdom. Go ahead.
And his fame was in all nations round about.
His fame was where?
In all nations round about.
His fame was in all nations round about. So you hear about Confucius, you hear about all these different heathen
Right.
Philosophers. A lot of them. Who else? Gandhi, whatever.
Cato.
Cato. A lot of these heathens, their wisdom came from Solomon.
Absolutely.
And they borrowed it and said it's theirs. That's all it is. Keep going.
Verse 32. And he spake 3,000 proverbs.
We remember the Bible, the heathens destroyed a lot of our records. So that's why Christ said, what you have now, hold fast till I come. Because Solomon wrote thousands of proverbs. We have 30, 31.
Right.
But he wrote thousands of them. This is only a fraction of them. Okay, read on.
And his songs were 1,005.
And he wrote what?
And his songs were 1,005.
And we have a few of his songs. Song of Solomon is his writings, not his women. Solomon wrote songs. His women did not write songs. He wrote songs. And songs is a parable regarding the relationship between Israel and the Lord. It's a love story between God and his people. But Solomon includes himself as the leader and the people and his wife or women as the children of Israel. There's going into a relationship between the Lord and his people, or Solomon and his people. So if you had also, I'll leave that alone also. Continue.
Verse 33.
33.
And he spake of trees from the cedar tree that is in Lebanon, even unto the hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spake also of beasts and of fowl, and of creeping things and of fishes.
He spoke of, that goes back to what? Wisdom of Solomon 7. The Lord gave him knowledge of beasts, trees, astronomy, all of that, weather,
Psychology.
botany, all of that, meteorology, everything. Read it again. That's a precept of Wisdom of Solomon 7 right there. Read it again.
And he spake of trees from the cedar tree
That's botany.
that is in Lebanon, even unto the hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spake also of beasts and of fowl,
That goes into zoology.
and of creeping things and of fishes. And there came of all people.
There came who?
And there came of all people
All people. Everyone on the earth. All people. Go ahead.
to hear the wisdom of Solomon.
So not only was it this Queen of Sheba, it wasn't just her. Many nations came to hear his wisdom. And they were so amazed and impressed by him that they gave their daughters to him to be wives, to establish alliances and financial relationships with the heathen. That's where he got these wives from. He had 1,000 wives. He had 1,000 alliances. He had 1,000 relationships with multiple heathens. They gave their daughters to him as a seal of alliance. That's a business transaction. To seal an alliance, starting with Pharaoh, him first, then many others afterwards. Go ahead. Read verse 34 again.
And there came of all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon.
Go ahead.
From all kings of the earth.
From who?
From all kings of the earth.
All of them. All kings of the earth. Go ahead.
Which had heard of his wisdom.
Which had heard of his wisdom, came to visit Solomon and hear his wisdom and brought it back to their empires and shared it with their people. Then it became their wisdom. But it came from Solomon.
That's right.
And we are descendants of Solomon. So that divine gift of wisdom and intuitiveness and invention and originality, all is it's all genetic. Divinely genetic. All right? The artistic talents or the learning, the culture. Right. That's all us. That's all us. No matter where we were, Israel was the most intelligent and most talented people, no matter where we were. Whether on the run, it didn't matter. In exile, we could be bums in the street. Yo, go get that Jew over there. He's smart. It didn't matter where we were. We were the bankers. We owned stuff. Now we're niggas and spicks and savages. Hell, we so damn retarded, we can't tell who's who anymore. He ain't Israel. He's a heathen. We're retarded. The damage is done.
Hey, Deacon, I read an article on a brother that he invented the chip for the cell phone.
Damn.
Yeah, he invented the chip.
Wasn't there a brother that he's a walking calculator? When they asked him a question.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
They asked him a question. They said, they said use the calculator at that time to count how many days are in the year, something like that. Or what he asked him to do, give him a task.
That was it. He asked him to calculate all the days in a year.
Right.
And he calculated with his head.
In his head.
Down to the second or something like that. He calculated all the years.
And they said you're wrong. And he said, no, I didn't count so and so.
Right. Yep.
He said, you're wrong. He said, no, I'm not wrong. I didn't count so and so. Off the top. No,
no computer.
Yeah. The dudes in the freaking calculator, I think
It's like that sister with the space mission.
when you move hidden figures. What's that thing called? You move it around.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the beads?
The beads.
Yeah.
What do they call that thing, man?
That's
I know it's
called.
in the chat. I know what that thing is called. It's in the movie Soul. It's in Soul. If you watch Soul, Soul's a good movie. I need to see that.
We don't play
I'm
with things like
digressing.
that.
But we're gonna get to it. But I forgot they call it. But he off the top of his head, that dude was a walking computer. Hidden Figures, they were walking. The sisters were walking computers.
A lot of the technology that they're trying to come out with today to be environmental friendly or clean energy or green energy under the Biden administration is energy components that we created back in the early 1900s, such like hydrogen, fuel cell. You had a black inventor that during the time period of Henry Ford, created the car out of the hydrogen fuel. So because Esau want to create a monopoly over the gas, the oil, and control it, because black people need machines in order to access the oil. So what did he do? He said, "Okay, I'll make the car run off of water," and because of that, they destroyed his invention.
Wow.
Same thing with that brother.
What's it called?
Abacus. Wooden abacus.
Oh, abacus. An abacus.
You know I'm Levi.
Yeah, I know. I got abacus. That's like a prophet of backup.
Yeah.
You said abacus. No. Abacus. An abacus. Abacus. An abacus. Yes, an abacus. Thank you. All praise.
And they can also remember the brother that created the machine that was
the cotton gin
for the water. No, for the water. That was like a couple of years ago.
Oh, that brother. And they destroyed the machine.
That machine that created water.
Yeah.
And they destroyed the machine.
He said whoever destroyed it knew what they were doing on how to sabotage it.
Right.
They had knowledge of that technology and they destroyed it. Sabotaged it purposely. Yes. So let's get to it.
It's all about capitalism, capitalizing off it.
Right.
All right.
So we're going to deal with the learned and being cultured regarding our people and the castles and so forth.
Bring up the Andalusian classical music.
Andalusia means Spain. Spanish classical music. So classical music of Spain. Remember Andalusia or Al-Andalus? You go over this numerous times. You come across that word numerous times. That's Spain.
So it's an article right under. I posted it up on our group. Go down. I'm not sure if many of you watch Hidden Colors. In Hidden Colors, one of the points that was made is classical music was soul music. And we understand even from today's modern history, starting from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, you have from jazz. You have Louis Armstrong. You have from Michael Jackson. You have pop music. You have rock and roll. All these were black cultural music, which was taken and adopted by Easu. You have the Beatles. You also have what's his name?
Elvis.
Elvis, not Elvis. There's another one. Beach Boys, the Beach Boys.
Or the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys. Okay, the Beastie Boys. A lot of the music that they have was based upon our fathers and the music that we developed. So it's no different from classical music.
That
It's
goes
the
back
same-
to that movie called Cadillac Records.
Yep, Cadillac Records.
Cadillac Records goes into that. They stole our stuff.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Andalusian classical music. So the same thing when the Moors entered into Iberia. So Andalusia is actually in the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain. So when the Moors was taken, conquered by the Arabs, the Muslims, and were brought into Europe, we not only brought our culture, our architect, but we also brought our music. So the Easu tried to hold claim to classical music as if it's theirs. If you even look at Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, you have like a little bounce to it. That's black people's music back then, you know? So just read at the beginning. Andalusian classical music.
Andalusian classical music, or Andalusi music, is a genre of music originally developed in Al-Andalus
Al-Andalus. Yep, that's Spain. Go ahead.
by the native Muslim population of Andalusia and the Moors.
You see how they say and the Moors? No. The Moors created that, and the Muslims was integrated within that. We were in the same society with the Moors, so that's why they add and the Moors, because we joined empire at that time period.
Yes.
Hey, Cap, we also understand we're never gonna get the credit due.
No.
Never.
Everything you gonna put us
I'm
in the shadow.
gonna cover that later on in this class and next about the Muslim
praise.
and the Moors.
Yeah.
How it's one the same. Go ahead.
I'm going to show you.
If I may say something, think about this. Recent inventions that we know that black people did during slavery. If we don't get credit for those, will we ever get credit for things that's 1,000 years ago?
Right.
Hell no.
Right.
Showing you that the Moors were the pioneers of classical music. Now, people might say, okay, you're lying. Now, if you go to the classical period, you have the Baroque period. You have Johannes Bach. You have not Joseph Haydn. You have Bach. You have Handel. So this was the Baroque period. You have different times of period in the history of music. So you have the Baroque period. After the Baroque period, you have the classical music period, which is highly studied in today's society.
You yourself, you're a music teacher. So you
Yeah,
gotta
I'm a
know
music
these
teacher. So you have the Baroque era. You have with Johann Sebastian
things.
Bach.
No, you are a music
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah.
You're one. So
Yes,
you
yes.
have to know these things.
So I got to know these things and study these things throughout my time in college. So I had to study the Baroque period with Johann Sebastian Bach, also with Handel. And then after the Baroque period, you have classical music era. So with the classical music era, a lot of our people are thinking that was European music. And that's why we see today, you see white musicians, white images, whitewashing. And we say these things that we used to rule Europe. And you think how far would Esau go to even hide the fact that we are the pioneers of music in general, the popular music that we listen to today. And when it comes to classical music, you have Chinese, you have Caucasians, you have everybody but black people, because why? That music is shunned among people. It's not culture. It's not culture music. Your music is hip hop. Your music is just rap. Your music is trap. Mumble rap. Your music is not sophisticated music. You are the people that the great creators and of great compositions that white people in the orchestras play today. No, that's not you. You're not of any relevance or importance. So now let's go to the other book. There's another book called Sex and Race. Everybody should have this. Only reason I'm saying because everybody should have this by now.
Sex and Race is 3 volumes. You should have all 3 volumes. Sex and Race is a must-have.
Easily acquired. No,
And
not that one.
Cap, that's why when I'm listening to classical music,
Yeah.
around here, the brothers, they're laughing at me.
Yeah. Hey, it's because the brother's been duped by Esau
That's
too.
they're born in the 90s, late 90s,
Yeah.
late 90s, 2000s. Some of y'all are half retarded. That's why.
Yo, what do you think
I'm
David
sorry,
was
I'm
doing
sorry.
when he had the harp?
I'm
You can't,
Right,
you can't trap on harp. Don't. You can't trap on
No,
harp.
you cannot.
Hey, you know we get crazy. You see what people doing with the violin. You might be
Yes.
surprised somebody take that harp and
Oh,
start
that's
doing
what
it.
it's
Right,
black-
and just to
black
elaborate on the harp, you do realize you take a harp and lay it sideways, it's a piano,
It's
right?
a piano, yep.
The harp sideways is a piano. Rather than touch the strings yourself, the keys hit the strings instead.
And who did that? We did that.
And David made harps.
Organ.
He made instruments. David was a musician, and he made instruments. We'll get there when he's finished.
We had orchestras.
We had orchestra. Solomon had singers, men singers, women singers.
All right, now
and,
If you watch the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, he was laying in bed, and then a man said they started singing for him to wake out of his sleep. He woke up to singers in his sleep.
That was bad right there.
That was bad. But go ahead, continue.
Yes. All right. So go to Sex and Races, volume 3. What is that? Page 306. Beethoven. So Beethoven also was a classical composer. He was the student of Joseph Haydn. Joseph Haydn was born in the 18th century along with other prominent classical composers such as Mozart. All right.
Wow, Mozart.
Yes.
Y'all know Beethoven. Y'all know Mozart. You can't forget those.
Those are the 3 prominent figures. And if black people don't know anything, they all know who? Mozart,
Beethoven.
and they know Beethoven.
Right. We learned in school.
Those are the most famous out of all the classical composers. All right? Go down. So it says Beethoven's color according to his contemporaries. Go down.
Cap, that was up.
Yeah.
When we read this part?
Yeah.
Beethoven's color, according to his biographers. Gianastasio del Rio. Beethoven could not possibly be called a, handsome man. His somewhat flat, broad nose and rather wide mouth, his small, piercing eyes, and swarthy complexion.
And swarthy. We've been going over it all this whole time what swarthy means. What does swarthy means? Bring it up, the definition real quick. Just in case if we forgot.
Swarthy.
So this is me going through music education and music history, all this information that I was consuming in college, not knowing that these were black people, black men.
Swarthy. Dark-skinned.
Black.
Black.
That's it.
Swarthy.
Swarthy. Dark skin, black. Now go on. Go back.
So it says, his somewhat flat, broad nose and rather wide mouth, his small, piercing eyes, and swarthy complexion, pockmarked into the bargain, gave him a strong resemblance to a mulatto.
All right. Now go down. Go to the second part. May Byron.
May Byron, swarthy, A Day with Beethoven, page 2, 1927. The what?
It's right there. Hey, date. Go on. Come on.
The swarthy come from the Anglo-Saxon swart, black.
There you go. Swart. Now go to the next page.
So swart means black. That goes back to King James' last name, Stuart. Stuart or swart is black. Black Jacob. King
read
Black
that.
Jacob.
Prince Esazi on his birthday. In the middle of the first allegro of Haydn's symphony, His Highness asked the name of the author. He was brought forward. What? Exclaimed the prince. The music is by this Blackamoor?
Come on, man. No, can you come
Read it
on,
again?
man. Read that again. Yo, and I want you to pull up the modern picture of Joseph Haydn. This is what I was whitewashed in music class. Thinking that these pioneers of classical music. Now, Joseph Haydn was the beginning of the classical era. He was the first classical musician that defined the music that so-called white people or so-called sophisticated people or intellectual people listen or play and listen to today. Guess what? They can't escape us. All the music that they listen to, jazz, classical, whether it be rap, hip-hop, pop, it's all black people. That's why I said Jacob is the creator of all things. They can't escape it. That's why the Bible says Israel is the salt of the earth.
And Dick, I mean, Cap, even when you read, can we read that with Psalms 137? Confirm it, our classical music. Psalms 137. What's up, verse 1?
The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion.
So that's when it was in captivity. Go ahead.
We hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
See that? We hang our harps. He didn't say we're beep bop. He said harps.
Right. You get 2 Samuel 6 and 5. But that goes into the slavery part.
Yeah, I know, but now let's finish in verse 3.
There's more? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
verse 3. We didn't hang the beat bop. It was harps.
Right.
So let's see what the people that carried us captive, what did they ask of us?
All right.
Verse 3.
Verse
For
3.
there, Psalms chapter 137, verse 3. For there they that carried us
See
away
that, hold on.
captive
From there, by the rivers of Babylon, them that carried us captive, read.
required of us a song.
See, they want us to sing our song because they knew how bad our song was. You understand what I'm saying? How angelic, the voice of our brothers and sisters were. So they heard of the fame of our singers. Go ahead.
Right.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, "Sing us one of the songs of Zion."
Right. So this is what they want us to do.
Sing one of them good songs y'all be singing from back in the days. Can I get a scripture? Genesis 4:21. Because remember the deacon mentioned that an harp is basically an organ. Because when you lay down the chord or hit by whatever time you press a key on the keyboard, there's a stick that hit the strings. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 21. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handled the harp and organ.
Since Genesis, but white folks would have believed they created all this instrument during the classical era.
Hey,
and
that's
the
what I thought.
authors of everything.
They showed us all
This
these.
is
They showed us the
Genesis.
lute, the flute.
Yes.
They showed the violin different. I said, wait a minute. I was like, okay, so white people created. That's what I thought.
No.
Yo, and the reason, and another reason why they push black people to trap music, to hardcore rap, what is it, gangster rap, because they understand it has an effect on our psychological.
Right. So I'm gonna read now.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that out.
Okay.
That what you brought out. That's Cain. That was Cain.
No,
The organ existed at that time.
That's what I'm saying. I
Right.
brought it just to say
Right.
they were not the creators
Right.
of the organ. Because
Right.
they would have you believe the piano and the organ is like something that they created. It's
Right.
been
That
there
is
from
something modern.
Way
It was
back
ancient.
When. That's what I wanted to bring up.
Right. Get 2 Samuel 6 and 5.
Oh. You beat me to it.
You know what 2 Samuel 6 and 5.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter
Welcome to the show.
Hey, there's a reason why we're quiet.
Hey, Deacon just having mercy on us. That's it. He just having mercy. Be like, you know what? I don't want to take all the show by myself. Yeah.
Your brother's gonna search the whole Bible. Like, I know Deacon don't got this.
You see, I'm focused right now.
Yo, I'm sorry, we're quiet.
It's like bingo. Like,
Damn. All right.
I got it.
How to think like the deacon? All right, we've been around for a long time. All right, I know he doesn't have this.
You got this? Yeah, I got that.
Damn.
You gotta throw Deacon off, and he said, "I got it."
I got
Yeah.
it for later.
And oh praise, you know what this brings out, Dig? I mean, for our people who understands us, well, maybe if you're a first time watcher, you don't really watch these series like this, it is sport to us to get this information. You know what I mean? And not only is helpful for you, but it's helping the nation.
Right. 2 Samuel 6 and 5.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, verse 5.
Hey, Jess.
Sorry, Cap, I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna fall back.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Cap, come on. It's like
Carries
Wow.
his back, baby. He had his tea already. He's good.
My tea.
Yeah.
I'm here, baby.
He's here.
I'm awake.
Spears back.
Yeah.
I'm awake.
Hold on.
Yo, before I was like this.
This is Paul Street Bully right here.
Come on. 2 Samuel 6
2
and
Samuel
5.
chapter 6, verse 5.
Yeah.
And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood.
All manner of instruments made of fir wood, because piano's made of wood originally. Go ahead.
And on harps.
And on harps to be your pianos. Go
And
ahead.
on
Standing up.
psalteries.
A harp is a standing piano. That's all it is. Go ahead.
And psalteries.
Psalteries
And on timbrels. And on cornets. And on cymbals.
and on cymbals. Sting cymbals. Go to 1 Kings 10:12.
Hey, let's get those likes up. We only have 272 likes. Should be 714 likes. Come on. Let's do it now, Israel.
Push that button.
1 Kings 10:12.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 10, verse 12.
And I want you to get real quick. I want you to get so I'm gonna go somewhere else. Get hold on. 1 King. Hold on.
See this one? I ain't gonna.
25. 1 Kings 25:1. 1 Chronicles 25. 1 Chronicles 25:1.
You want 1 Kings 10 first?
And 12, yeah. Then 1 Chronicles 25:1.
1 Kings chapter 10, verse 12. And the king made of the almond trees pillars for the house of the Lord, And for the king's house, harps also and psalteries for singers.
Right, for what?
For singers.
For singers. So they made those things for singers. Go ahead. That's it? Mm-hmm. Get 1 Chronicles 25 and 1.
1 Chronicles chapter 25.
Verse 1.
1.
Remember, when Saul had an evil spirit on him, what did David do? He played the harp for him to soothe him, to soothe the spirit. Because music has a spiritual effect. Cain, the wicked, we mentioned earlier, they understood that knowledge. They knew that knowledge of that. So Cain's descendants, who of course became Esau later on, they learned the negative aspect of how to use music. That's where your gangster rap comes from. That's where all they pushing the mumble nonsense. All these so-called Jewish managers and producers, they push the negative aspect, the twerking, all of that. They promote that. They push the negative negative version of music into our people's psyche. Whereas back we knew in the Bible, the prophets knew that the music had a spiritual positive impact on the people. And for a while, we had that knowledge slightly. Even in the captivity, you had a certain knowledge of music, like old school music, like Kool and the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire. You had different songs.
Al Green.
Huh? Al Green.
Yep.
Things like that. You had certain songs, Donny Hathaway, Sam Cooke. These guys sang songs like, okay, this is positive. But then Esau said, no, we got to corrupt that. We got to make it, even the hip-hop sons about the ignition, but never negative.
Right.
Esau said, no, we got to change that, make it negative. That's Cain all over again, manipulating the music and putting, rather than taking spirits off of you, they know to put music, to put evil spirits in you instead.
And D, can you imagine doing a drive-by with Mozart or Beethoven?
Right.
They're like this. Damn. They're like this. Yo, angry at that nigga. Then June drive like, damn, yo. Maybe I'll do it on another day.
Yeah, right.
To
Make a
keep us something.
U-turn.
And a perfect example of that is in the business area.
Yo, I'm doing drive-by. And somebody put on some Beethoven. He's like, damn, yo. Maybe I shouldn't do this.
Maybe I should get a job.
Yo.
Maybe I should get a job, take care of my kids.
Yeah.
I felt, for some reason, I felt responsible to that. I felt responsible for some reason.
And that's why they tell you when your child's developing, even from the womb, they say to play classical music, or they have Mozart or study music. You see studying music, Mozart, because it calms your brain.
Esau calls it elevator music.
Elevator
music.
If you
Or
know,
elevation music, too.
Elevation
Our
music.
people, we know music got deal with your spirit because among ourselves, that like the 60s and the 70s, what do you call most of those music? Baby making music.
Right. Or rhythm
Why
and
would
blues.
you call it baby making music? Because it put a spirit on you to make you want to go,
Right.
a little Marvin Gaye. You understand?
Right, yeah.
Target a specific aspect of you. So the same way in hip hop, I remember in the world, no matter where I was, what party I was, there's two songs. Once they're played in back to back, somebody getting slapped.
Right.
Any up,
Yup.
where my dogs at?
MOP, yeah. and
MOP,
DMX.
or fight
Those
music,
two songs
Eminem,
are played
a
lot,
back to
yeah.
back. Music change.
Throw them bows,
Right.
Ludacris.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Lil John.
Yeah,
you-
DMX come down.
Right.
Now
punch him
gonna
in the
make
face.
me lose my mind.
Right.
You know that?
Then you had Nina Simone, Blood on the Leaves. Someone mentioned Billie Holiday. Excellent example. So that's a complete opposite.
Right.
So read what you got. What did you get? 1 Chronicles 25 and 1 regarding the positive aspect of music.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 25, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, David and the captains of the host separated to the service of the sons of Asaph,
Asaph was the musician. Go ahead.
and of Heman,
Of Heman. Go ahead.
and of Jeduthun,
Jonathan.
who should prophesy with harps.
Who should what?
Who should prophesy with harps.
What they do?
Who should prophesy with harps.
The word of God. They prophesy with harps.
Dang.
They sing praise to the Lord with harps. With harps. Go ahead.
with psalteries,
With psalteries.
and with cymbals.
Go ahead.
And the number of the working men according to their services was.
That's called an orchestra. Now get Ecclesiastes 2 and 8. And we're gonna move on. That's all
Yes,
so
sir.
you bring it out?
No,
Yeah,
it's a little bit more.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 8.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 8.
Regarding the king's house. Watch this. This is Solomon speaking. Solomon, watch this.
I gather me also silver and gold, and a peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces.
Watch this.
I get me men singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts.
Solomon gathered all kinds of instruments, and he had men singers and women singers. He had a choir in his house. Solomon had choirs in his house, and they were prophesying while they sang in his house.
That's just heavy. You know, what kind of lifts my spirit from all the abuse I get. Sometimes people forget to mention what tribes that, you know, he...
All right, let's continue reading. Continue going. Go where you was at. They're going to go to where you was at.
Look at the look.
This took a left turn.
Yeah,
We
left
cannot be hypocrites. Please.
Took a wrong turn.
2 Chronicles 5, please. Just 12.
Why are we going to there for? What's in there?
Sound.
The music, the singers, and all that. It's gonna sometimes there's little aspects that's left out. We just want to make sure we don't
Deliberately.
confuse the Old Testament out there.
It's the Old Testament.
Yeah,
That's the Old Testament.
You see Levi feels emboldened today.
5 and 12, sir.
A lot more of them today. Feel emboldened. Go ahead, go ahead.
Why don't you have Officer LaQuat read for you?
No.
Hey,
Officer LaQuat, let's represent. Get that.
First
Y'all ain't right, man.
Get that.
First Chronicles chapter 5, verse 12.
First Chronicle 5 and
No,
12.
2 Chronicles.
Okay,
Second
Second
Chronicles
Chronicles
5 and 12. Yeah.
5 and 12.
Okay, I got it. Also, the Judites.
I would read it.
Get to the singers.
Come on, Dick, don't do that.
Second Chronicles chapter 5, verse 12.
Cap reading.
Also, which were the singers? All of
You see this, Israel? We can't get a break. The scripture is right here.
I got a black highlight on that. I got a black highlight on that
Why you
word.
reading the Bible like Christianity?
no, the Bible I'll give him eyes that he can't see.
Glass darkly. You see through a glass darkly.
NIV.
Listen, the scripture says stand watch. So I'm watching the direction this is going, and I'm noticing there's an intricate part missing.
We see through a verse darkly.
Dang.
Also the Levites.
Oh, man. Why you saying? Come on, Cap, man.
Also
Read it
the
sad.
Levites, which were the singers, all of them of Asaph, of Heman,
Jonathan.
of Jeduthun, with their sons and their brethren, being arrayed in white linen, having cymbals and psalteries and harps,
And harps.
stood at the east end of the altar, and with them 120 priests sounded with trumpets.
So what's heavy, like Deacon said just now, even the way the music was being
13 too.
performed, it was still glorifying the Lord. We were standing facing the east with the trumpets, with the bad Levi singers bringing it out.
And the garment. Don't forget the garment.
Yeah.
Read verse 13.
Fine linen garment. Read
Verse
on.
13. It came to even to pass as the trumpeters
Yeah,
and
the
singers.
trumpeters. The trumpeters. We had trumpets too. The trumpeters.
And singers were as one.
All one. They all sing together as one. You know, at that Esau Catholic stuff. Lactose, that deacon, demonic exorcist garbage. I think it's crazy. That thing sounds crazy, man. That's Damien's theme. That thing is madness.
Every time I used to go to the opera,
the hell
I
is
used to fall
this?
asleep. I said, I can't do this, man.
Madness. They look all crazy. They're stirring his space. What are they stirring at?
The devil.
Yeah, the devil. Yeah,
And a lot of rappers use that in their beats today.
they do a lot of. Yeah, they did. Go ahead.
Jake just put a beat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jake put some flow of soul in it.
Go ahead.
And it came even to pass, as the trumpeters and the singers were as one, to make one sound to be heard in praising and in thanking the Lord.
Damn.
And when they lifted up their voice with the trumpets and cymbals and instruments of music, and praised the Lord, saying, For he is good, for his mercy endure forever. That then the house was filled with a cloud, even the house of the Lord.
Damn, through the cloud. The Lord was there listening to the music.
You know that music has to be the best.
The Lord was there.
Hey,
I like
the
this.
Lord was
The
in
Lord
the-
was-
Hey, because of that, verse 14.
I like
verse
this.
14. Verse 14.
So,
Verse 14, go ahead.
Because of that.
so that the priests could not
Damn.
so that the priests could not stand to minister by reason of the cloud.
Right this.
For the glory of the Lord had filled the
Damn.
house.
The voice. Bring all the spirit out.
Yeah,
Bam.
the Lord came down himself. VIP. He's sitting there. I like this. That sound all right. Everybody get out of here, man.
Hey, now the Lord said, take away the noise of thy vows. Oh, sapaste,
Oh, man.
Now we got brother sing,
Yo, hey, Cap, what about that one?
Yo, I'm sorry. Why you always mad at me, man?
Hey, look, listen.
Let me speak my truth.
Listen. I'm
Speak on the truth, Cap. Not just one part. Not just one part, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You got to speak about the rap, too.
Listen, Cap. It don't matter what
man.
you say. It's what's written in the Bible.
Yo.
Baby. So I'm glowing right
Yo,
now.
Levi can't get no break, man.
Hey,
Levi can't get a break, man.
hey, well, guess who's
Yo,
the composers of the music?
That's right.
Leave it
That's
up.
right. The songwriters.
Dave was the songwriter.
The
man.
songwriters.
Oh my God, let's not get into this.
I mean, Judah.
Dave was the songwriter.
Who wrote
man.
the who
Didn't you
wrote
say
the
you wanted
first
to move on,
platinum
nigga?
record?
If we're gonna move on now, I just bring that part out. David was the songwriter.
platinum
David
record
wrote
in this
songs. He wrote songs.
That was Moses.
David was a righteous Keith Sweat. He's a songwriter,
Hey, he
man.
said that was Moses.
Yeah,
But who gave Moses the songs to write?
yeah, exactly.
The
most
produced
God.
it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. You see how quiet it got? You see how I got awkwardly quiet? Yeah. We're gonna work this out.
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Let's move on now, all right? Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
move it right along now. All right. then.
Yo, this brother caused a lot of animosity at the table.
What did I do?
Your presence, sir.
Yeah, Levi got Lil Wayne now. Y'all Lil Wayne, that's y'all got now. And Rick Ross. That's y'all got. That's y'all got.
Nah,
now.
see-
With a
see, hold up, hold
a
up,
painted
hold up.
bed in his face.
Hold up.
Cap, we're gonna send a car. We're gonna send a car for you next week, Cap. Cap, we get in.
Whoa.
Because everything they do, they learn it here in America, in the projects, by our good
Where's the sword?
Judite brothers.
Oh, wow.
They live out by blood.
Wow.
Culturally,
Touche. I can't even argue that one. man.
Thank you. Damn.
I can't even argue that, man.
Finally, man.
We corrupt people. We corrupt people.
Hey, let's come back to earth. I gotta stop it now.
Let's get out of 11. Let's get out of 11. No. What else? Get that thing. Oh, go back to who's that?
Yeah, go back to the Beethoven. I forgot where we're at now.
Nah, I mean,
Nah, we was right.
What we will bring it out is
Yes.
the history of music. Just like Deacon was saying earlier, they always try to exclude us out of it.
Right.
Yes,
Just like
yes,
when
sir.
we read that pasture and the Moors, meaning that the Moors was the forefront of that
Yes.
history. So
Right.
that's where you left off. at.
Yep, exactly. That's the reason why we're bringing it out. Because not only did Moors bring the intellects, the the architect, we built the castles, but we also introduced classical music into Europe as well. All right, go back to Beethoven. Oh, yes, that's all I want. Haydn. So this is the Joseph Haydn, the pioneer, the father of classical music that they push today. Look at that guy.
Wow.
Look like George Washington.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Terrible.
Bruh.
That's why Esau is a witch. They'll put something before your eyes, make you believe in an illusion, but you read it here, you say, no, Haydn's black. But they said, no, he was white. Just the same thing they did to Jesus Christ. They did it to Solomon. They did it to all of our fathers. They whitewashed, called iconoclasm, image breaking. All right, now go back to Beethoven. All right, Joseph Haydn.
Joseph Haydn.
Go back to where it says Blackmore. Go back to that. The top, in the middle.
Right.
In the middle.
Joseph Haydn. Beethoven, the man, page 27.
No, it says in the
On the
middle.
top,
of
on the
the
very
first-
top, in the middle. It's
Yes.
Underlined. The middle of the.
In the middle of the first allegro of Haydn's symphony, His Highness asked the name of the author. He was brought forward. What? Exclaimed the prince. The music is by this Blackamoor?
Damn.
Well,
And they tell you what color the Moors were. The black or more.
Black or more. Right.
That sound like the Asians cursing us out. You blacker neck, you blacker.
Yeah, pretty much.
You blacker man.
Go on.
Go ahead.
well, my fine Blackamoor, henceforth thou art in my service.
Wow.
What is thy name? Joseph Haydn.
Joseph Haydn, a black man. Come on, Esau. Stop playing games, man.
All praise. Bring it out.
What
Cat.
is
Yo,
that
I-
name? Joseph Haydn. Damn.
He
go
said,
ahead.
put respect on my name, son.
Yeah.
So why you all looting? Why you all tearing up the Capitol? We bringing the books out.
Right.
Go on.
Carpenter says of this that Haydn's color.
Oh, my bad.
Yo, Cat, what's going
I
on?
was so tired that time.
People all across the
Cap was so excited. Oh my God.
I apologize.
You
All right.
read it yourself. I can't read that thing. What
Hey,
is
read
that?
it, man.
All right, Carpani says of this that Haydn's color gave strong reason for the prince's remark, and that Haydn was thereafter called the Moor.
Wow.
As late as the last century. The word Moor was used to describe Negroes in all the countries of Western Europe. Shakespeare uses the words Moor and Negro synonymously.
Well, I guess Shakespeare was a black man.
Black man also. Yes, he was.
Now go down. Okay. Yep. Go down.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ludwig.
Emil Ludwig says his, Beethoven's, face reveals no trace of the German.
He was no trace of the white man, which they portray him to be.
Yep.
None.
Go on.
He was so dark
He was so black. Go on.
that people dubbed him
My bad.
Snargnel. With it, that's a G. Snargnel. Certain that there was a mixture of Spanish blood in this half Netherlander, as in so many others.
Let me see. What that say? What is that?
That's a P.
Yo, that's my early days before.
You're terrible.
That's before I learned the art of highlighting.
Because the bottom part says Spanish blood.
But Cap,
Because
that's
it's
a
mixed
pencil.
with
You could have
Spanish.
erased it.
Huh?
It's a pencil. You could erase and go back and redo it.
Yo, why you get on my, on my faults?
You see how
I'm
he
just
could
saying.
dish it out? He can't take it, right?
That's sad.
You see how he cannot take it?
Snognal? It's like an
Spagnos.
alien from Men in Black.
Spagno.
A Snognal. What does that mean?
Spagno.
What?
I thought you were on my team.
I wasn't, so I can't read the words. Underlining
Hey,
it.
no respect to
Spagno,
person,
Spagno.
man.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
It's Spagno.
Spagno.
A-G-N. Hey, it's clear in my book.
Spagno.
Hey, it's clear in my book. There's something wrong with your image.
Spagno.
Shows that there was a
Spagno.
mixture of Spanish blood in the half Netherlander, as in so many others.
So
going,
the
yeah, keep going.
Spag.
Other writers.
So the Spag spell for
Other
Spag.
writers
Yeah,
here.
Spagno's for Spanish. Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll read.
Other writers.
Just can't read. That's the problem.
I got
Other
it, Cap.
writers here and there have also, like myself, been struck by Beethoven's Negroid appearance.
Dang.
J.W. Chadwick says that Frederick Douglass, great mulatto abolitionist, bore a certain resemblance to Beethoven.
Wow.
He said he looked like Frederick Douglass.
Wow.
Come on now.
There you go.
Now the next page, just to show you a depiction.
Damn. There
Of
it
a
goes.
mask of his.
That's right. He does look like Frederick Douglass. Yeah, he does. That's his depiction right there.
Get a white man out of that.
Frederick Douglass. Get Frederick Douglass also. Get a picture of Frederick Douglass to put them side by side.
Look like James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
He does.
He does. He
does.
does. Joe
Exactly
Jones.
like him.
Get Frederick Douglass real quick and put them side by side. That depiction there. That wide nose and lips there. They try to say this guy was white. I don't believe it. They say his mother's raped by a white
he
man.
wasn't white.
There ain't no white out of that, man. I'm sorry. I don't get white from that at all.
White people don't do things like that.
No, I don't see it. But that's a definite similarity.
Yeah, the lips,
Yup, the lips and nose.
Nose.
Yeah, that's definite.
the eyebrows.
The eyes, everything. Yeah, that's definite. Wow. Yeah, that's definite. There's no beard, but that's the same.
That's a mask, so that they put on.
Hey, D.
What's the mask to put on?
Yeah, they put a mask over to cover his face.
Wow.
So that's a outline of his face.
Oh, okay, outline. I got you. Okay, but go on out. But it's still even still.
Yeah.
Looks like I can see what they're saying. Go out of that. Go down to the bottom, right? There's more.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Now one more book.
One more. Damn, one more book.
There's
Damn,
one more.
all right.
Now let's go to Mozart.
Oh, Mozart now.
Yeah.
That's Beethoven right there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Beethoven.
Don't they got a picture of Haydn too? Wasn't there a picture of Haydn somewhere? I saw it in black.
Yes. Dang, I do have a Joseph
There's
Haydn
a
picture.
picture of
yes.
Haydn black, too.
Yes.
You
You're
showed
right.
the
You're
white
right.
one,
Let
get the black
me
one.
get it. Did I send it last week? No.
I saw that picture long
Yeah,
time
I showed
ago.
it to you last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. Jess, somebody pull it up. Joseph Haydn black. It's in Belgium, I believe. Radio station. Somebody had it up.
They have a depiction of Haydn black. So a lot of y'all, those of you who hopefully no one's on the comment board scorning and scoffing, because if you are, you're an imbecile, man. You're stupid as hell.
Deke.
Yeah.
While you go over this, I don't think I could airdrop it real quick. I just want you to read this straight in line with what you just brought out with the Portuguese.
Pass it over to the cat. So I won't drop it.
Yeah, with the Portuguese.
Oh,
This is the same spag.
Oh, Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
Spagno.
Right.
Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo. Come on.
no, that's actually a picture Mozart had.
Oh, that was Mozart you had. Spagnuolo. It says one of a group of. Oh man.
I'll probably gonna
Let's
have
say
to
it's a
drop
smack. It's a spagnol, right? Remember that? It's a spagnol.
Right.
It means spagno. Definition of spagnolo. Nolo. Same thing. One of a group of Spanish and Portuguese Jews. expelled from Spain in 492, whose descendants scattered among the Balkan states speaking Judeo-Spanish. Wow. In comparison to Ladinos, which are black Spanish-speaking Jews, or Sephardim. So if he was a Spagnol, that means he was definitely a black Jew.
Right.
And that's what Beethoven was referring to as the Moor. When he spoke of dark, he was referring to those Jews that was expelled.
Right.
Dang.
Spagnol.
Okay,
Spagnol.
Levi, you all right.
That was a little nickname for him,
Hey,
Spagnol.
Levi, go home
Spagnol.
and
Yeah, the Spagnol, right.
Spagnol.
Those are the niggas, or those are the Spagnols.
Right, Beethoven was called the Spagnol.
Right, around that time, that was a
Spagnolo,
Right.
I believe.
That was
Could
like
y'all type
that was
that
a
in?
nickname.
Could y'all type that in?
So everybody can see it. Yeah, type
Yeah,
it
so
so
everybody-
That was like a little nickname, probably.
Yes, Spagnuolo.
N-O-L.
Yeah, Merriam Dictionary.
Spagnuolo. Yeah, Merriam-Webster. Here you go. Pass it back to me. It's better in my hands. This is an iPhone. It's better in my hands. My hands.
Wow.
Can't touch it.
iPhone, the Clubhouse Prophet.
Is it Merriam? If you find
Sit on the
Merriam.
I
elect.
don't believe in iPhones.
It's the Seal Deacon.
Listen, man, Purim is coming, so,
Missing it,
Deacon,
You're missing a U.
the thing is missing Deacon.
That's right, Purim is coming.
Yeah,
N-U-O-L-O.
Clubhouse is missing Deacon, so, brothers.
What about Mr. Android? That's what's happening.
I'm never going to put Android in there.
Evil, man.
Oh, man.
Join our evil. Join the dark side. Luke.
Demons, man.
Embrace it.
Nope.
Hey, Deke, after this, I posted a book about piggyback off when you went into our intellect.
We don't, excuse me, sir. We don't do piggyback anymore.
Land back or turkey.
Land back.
Land back.
Yeah, you're out the spirit.
Damn.
Oh, I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sorry.
God
I'm sorry.
sometimes
Got it?
mistaken for Judah.
Read that, Spagnol. So I go back to the word Spagnol in that book, Sex and Race, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Read that, what a Spagnol is.
Spagnol, one of a group of Spanish and Portuguese Jews expelled from Spain in 1492, whose descendants scattered among the Balkan states speak Judeo-Spanish.
Or Ladino. Judeo-Spanish is Ladino. And the bishop brought this out in numerous Child Tuesdays about what Ladinos are. The word Latino comes from the word Ladino. This goes to Spanish-speaking Negroes, which were Jews. Okay, or Sephardims, Jews of Spain, or Jews of Al-Andalus.
So Beethoven was a Jew.
So Beethoven was a Jew.
That's right.
That's what he was.
There was a Jew speaking, and his music was referring to the Jews also.
Right.
Under a different title, under a different
Pretty
name.
much. Got more?
Yes, one more.
Yes, get some
That's
more.
it. You know what's funny about Mozart too? They used to bring Mozart to parties and have him play at his young age, at his youthful age. Mozart was so smart that he used to, in order to attend a concert, he used to bring his notepad in order to document the music. So, because back then it was hard, because like the poverty, they didn't really have the music sheet available for the public. So if Mozart liked something, he said, yo, I want to copy the music down. That's how smart he was. At the age 9, they said, no notepads in there. So he went in there, memorized the whole music, came out, wrote it down, and started playing it. They said, where did you get this from? He said, I memorized it all. That's how smart
Memorize
he was.
the notes.
He memorized all the notes verbatim.
The only closest thing we have to a modern Mozart or Beethoven today, in my opinion, would be Prince. He would be like the Mozart back then, or modern version.
Yeah.
He was play all instruments.
Yeah.
He wrote. He was very talented. Everyone knows who Prince is. But he's a weird, very weird,
Eccentric, yeah,
very
type of-
very weird, eccentric. So he's an example of that in terms of our people.
Yep, Mozart's very eccentric, and they used to call him the life of the party. When Mozart came, he played. So every time there's a party, they would have Mozart play play his music, and they used to dance to that.
Right.
So Mozart, in sense, was like a DJ.
Right, the life giver. Right.
Yeah, he was.
It don't
Yep.
get
the
more
party
Negro
starter.
than that.
He was a party starter, huh?
It don't get more Negro than
No,
Right,
no.
it don't.
Mozart, like, it was like this.
Oh, Beethoven Everybody dancing, dabbing and all that.
Cat, you off the hook, man.
Dab with the piano. Oh man. What you got?
All right, let's go last one.
Oh,
you got?
man. The
Elijah,
life,
start at the top, then let's jump down to the bottom.
the life of Mozart. In the spring of
Can you
the
enlarge that?
yeah, bring it up, blow it up
Nobody
some.
can see that.
You guys have some amazing eyes. I can't see none of that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
There you go.
In the spring of the year 1772, a new archbishop, Hieronymus of the princely family, Colorado, was elected the government of Salzburg. And this event, which took place on the 14th of March in that year, was celebrated by the Serenata. Cochel's Catalog 126. I'm sorry. I give it a try. I give it a try, D. I give it a try. Sonio de Scipion. Cochel's Catalog 126. The poetry by Metastasio. The music by Mozart.
Okay.
Some description of this tyrant of the family, who had the greatest influence on the future fortunes of the composer, cannot be avoided. In figure, he was tall and commanding, much devoted to horses and field sports, and
So
fond
that's the prince is talking about. Go on.
and fond of being surrounded by a brilliant assemblage of ladies. He had not the least taste for music, and was long before he could be brought to perceive that there was anything extraordinary in his young concert master.
Which was Mozart.
When it is added that with his singular qualifications as an ecclesiastic, he combined hietor and moroseness of manner, the relation of the parties may easily be conceived, and although their acquaintance seems to have begun favorably, their good understanding was of short duration. The composer evidently took some pains to make a good impression
Mozart.
on his new lord, for he now produced in succession 7 symphonies for the orchestra. Cochel's Catalog 124, 128, 130, page 132, 134. Several divertimentos for instruments. All right. The intercourse of the princes of Germany with the musicians of their household appear to have been at this time remarkable for anything rather than the Suavelier in Modo. When old Prince Anthony Esterhazy recognized the genius of the Moor.
Wait. When the prince recognized the genius of the Moor, Mozart, read.
As he used to call Haydn.
You call Hayden the more too.
Yeah, he called hated the Moor too.
On the
Same
count.
person.
On the count.
On account of his swarthy complexion.
Ooh.
Damn, here we go again.
He is said to have received him into his establishment with these
The
words.
same prince that called Haydn the Blackamoor is the same prince that called Mozart the Moor because of his swarthy complexion, his black complexion.
There you
So
go.
that Mozart was a Moor too. I mean,
Right,
he was
as
a
he
black
used to
man,
call
a
Hayden, he
Jew.
called him a more. Does he call Hayden a more?
So Wikipedia needs to take that back when he talking about the Muslim and the Moors.
Right, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, they need to reword that around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just proved it right there.
Right. Same thing. That's it?
That's it.
Damn. That's more than enough.
All praises.
All right. Damn.
Thank you, Cap. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much,
You
Cap.
messed up, but that was some good stuff there, man. Thank you. Appreciate
What do you
it.
mean I be messed up?
It's a messed up.
So I be rude in speech, but not in
Let's get Isaiah 11. Let's get Isaiah 11 real quick. How long we got to a break? 5 minutes? All right. So we'll do it now. We'll take a break now and come back at like 2:30. Come back. We'll see you. Just stay tuned. Let y'all marinate on that. Chill for a little while. We'll come back. All right. So we'll be back. Shalom.
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 Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. Deacon Adon here of IUIC Philadelphia. Tuned in to Our Hidden History Radio, where we go into deep understanding and history of who we are, according to the Bible, hidden artifacts, archaeology, or geography, or you can think of that shrouds around our history of the Bible. We go into it in depth. So Israel, like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube channel, Our Hidden History Radio. See you then. Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history.
It's a feast day, y'all. And here in Atlanta, we get our dance on. So here's the thing. We about to have the dance-off of all dance-offs, if you didn't know. But we got to go over the rules. You know what? There are no rules. No holds barred. So, brothers, are you ready? Always ready. Sisters, are you ready?
Always ready!
Hold on, Cap. There's some cheating going on here.
Oh, man.
Every year, brothers lose, so I need y'all to be on top of your game. Because you see the sister right here? I know she studied back in the day. I know she did. You was either a dancer or you studied. They're all practicing.
Right.
But you brothers, you got some heavy hitters here. Come here, you. Bootsy Cop. Don't choose what you got her right now. You better dance your ass off. All right? So, brothers, let's do this thing. We ain't gonna lose.
It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. Rejoicing. Rejoicing.
We can move to the left now. Take it back to the right, right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night, night. We can move to the left now. Take it back to the right, right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night, night.
You know we party to the sun up. Feast days coming, we gon' keep it going till the next one come up. Tell them not to run up. The most high God is keeping more than 100 big time, and he ain't baby buddy number one.
I can't wait till the feast. Yeah, it's been a long week. Yeah, I need a release from this revolving door. So when they drop the beat, yeah, I'ma move my feet. Yeah, yeah, I'ma do my dance. Yeah. Yeah, you see my friends, yes, I've been waiting for this all week long. I've been waiting all week long.
It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. It's a feast. On the dance floor, I'ma be a beast. Get up out of your seats. The most I called in the sheep. Rejoicing. The brothers, y'all did y'all thing. Sisters, y'all did y'all thing too.
Cap, no that didn't. The brothers suck. No, they did not. They did not do that thing. No, they did not. The sisters won again.
Oh! The sheep. Rejoicing. Oh yeah. 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 Rejoicing.
Oh yeah. We can move to the left now. Take it back to the right, right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night, night. We can move to the left now. Make it back to the right, right. We can do it all night now. We can do it all night, night.
I've been waiting for this all week long. I've been waiting all week long.
got to get the hell up out of here. The hell wrong with you?
I just wanna live and serve the Most High. Yeah, that's the whole duty of man in this life. Yeah, I know I'm a soldier he put on the line. I'm ready to fight, yeah. Whoa, and they persecute me like I'm Jeremiah. That's what they do. His word is the truth and it goes like a fire. Destruction's coming very soon. I'm just warning you. This is how you love thy neighbor. They wanna see you fall, 'cause they see you strong. They mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us.
Let's go.
Them haters mad.
We go large XL, go far XL like a car, we accelerate. Push hard to the pedal brake, all for heaven's sake. To gold metal flake to my head and face. I'm a specialized, weaponized, mechanized, set aside, son of God. And it may come a time, try to take one of mine. Still we had a team like a number 9, never nervous. Haters make them mad on purpose, 'cause we in the streets where the curve is. They online where the nerds is. Let your clown make them short circuit. Please back, I'm allergic. Psalms 133, that's big unity, that's urban. And we in the end, that's curtains. Workmen on the front line on purpose.
See you fall, 'cause they see you strong. I know them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us.
Hi haters, yeah. Still looking at me? Don't watch me, watch TV. Deeps in the streets with the heat, and where a hater be? Mad as hell and they see they ain't never been me, so a hater can't speak. Hey, get like me, got works on works, y'all sleep on sleep, eat meat, wanna be a beast. Iuic, we a nation of kings and priests, everything that we seem to be. If a hater got an issue, he can find us so easily. We in the streets where they need to be. Forget the PC, go hard on GP. It's innate when you believe. We sit through these fakers and laugh at these haters. It's pure motivation, more energy to achieve.
See you fall, 'cause they see you strong. I know them haters mad. Them haters mad. They mad.
Hey, is that a bird? Is it a plane? Hey, but they black. Greater than a superhero, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, fly with my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. I'm keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. It really the greatest that you ever seen. It ain't no mistake, y'all. Hey, greater than a superhero, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, fly with my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. I'm keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. It really the greatest that you ever seen. Ain't no mistake, y'all. Sing the Lord a new song. I'm sending up praises. Y'all's amazing, quicken my spirit so heavenly. Kept me alive for another day, his mercy rains down heavily. Charity making a better me, you ain't seeking repentance, you better be. Wanna make it to heaven and see the king, can't imagine the kingdom is about to be. 12 gates with the 12 name, 12 foundation, 4 walls round. 12 angels standing at the gates with some kings rocking 12-point crown. I'm just speaking the prophecy, teaching it properly. Jacob now with the return of the Lord. Holy Joseph, that's where you slaying that nation, gon' fall in the glittering sword. Faster than a speeding bullet, we look like a locomotive or a plane. Spiritual X-Men with the power, fighting red juggernauts, that's Cain. Trusting the prophecy, and it came. Stay in the book, but this ain't no comic. Gotta do power, I spit flames. MC, you see how I'm coming. Hawk out with the vision, I'm hooked with the hammer. War machine, and we bringing the damage. Iron Man, we too heavy to handle. We got the light, they can't blow out the candle. Prince of the power with purple rain. Israelite law on my brain. Kal-El, I'm a Superman. I'm in the booth, look at how I change. Greater than a superhero, yeah, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, flow my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. Keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. Israel is the greatest that you ever seen. Ain't no mistake, y'all. I'm greater than a superhero, yeah, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, flow my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. I'm keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. Israel is the greatest that you ever seen. Ain't no mistake, y'all. I'm telling you straight, my nation the greatest that you ever witnessed, and ain't no mistake. Holding my head, yeah, I said what I said. I stand on my word, so clear me some space. I'm taking my place, #1 on the podium. Heathens is salty, they full of that sodium. Earth is ours, yeah, we taking it over. Got spiritual power, word is Jehovah. Hey, hallelujah, I'm sending up praises. Look, it's amazing. Chariot wheel whipping through the atmosphere. Independence Day, whoa, we out of here. Yo, this prophecy properly moving, it's manifest destiny. Life is a movie. Heavenly screenwriter with the wordplay, and a life is living what the word say. I endure to the end. I want a reward, a ruler should crown me. I was groping at noonday. I was lost in the dark, yeah, how I can't found me. Now I'm here on a mission. We used to be under derision. I dare them to clown me. Won't hear from the heathen when we in the kingdom. They legacy never be found. Be. I'm a ministry mover. I used to be out here a loser, but now I'm a changed man. I died in the flesh, but now I'm a god, so now you can call me an X-Man. It's miraculous, marvelous men. Black as a night, and they can't comprehend. End of the world is just to begin, and move out the way, cause the saint coming in. Greater than a superhero, yeah, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, flow my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. Keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. Israel is the greatest that you ever seen. Ain't no mistake, y'all. I'm greater than a superhero, yeah, I'm about to take off. I'm a prince from royalty, flow my cape off. And yeah, I got my power from the king. I'm keeping commandments and I'm staying clean. Israel is the greatest that you ever seen. Ain't no mistake, y'all. Ain't no mistake.
So boys, what y'all doing, man? Y'all playing superheroes? What y'all got right there? Who that you got right there? Oh, he's strong, huh? Who is that?
Captain America and Wolverine and Thor and Iron Man.
Okay. What is this? Where y'all get this from? Man, one of these damn evangelists that came over here and gave you some bull crap. What is this? Heavenly Mother. Y'all look, hey, y'all want to learn about some superheroes? Let me show y'all what the real superhero is.
Yeah. You might not know. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Jump in the situation, contemplating how it's no problem, solve everything. With the Bible, tell the people that the end is getting closer. The smoke will blow you over. The vengeance of the Lord. Look, I don't see how you live it. You live your whole life wildin', profiling, a nobody. When you should have been an Israelite or somebody. I like things, this ain't nothing for a maker. May the Lord save you, may the Lord keep you, may the Lord bless you. May He show you how to be enlightened, take you to a schooling and show you about His laws. Turn you to a changed man, a made man, a just man, just into the holy land. Don't start nothing, then it wouldn't be nothing then. Let me tell you what you're dealing with. We the Israelites, alright, we the Israelites, alright, we the Israelites, alright. Don't start nothing, then it wouldn't be never cut your beard. Take heed to the laws, cause God is who you fear. Started with a
We're back. Welcome back to Our Hit History Radio.
Oh, now we got it.
There we go. We got it.
The missing pieces here, that's why.
The missing link was here. He wants to do it. We're the compensate. So
We gotta give it to you. We gotta give it to you, man.
Thank you, I
Open
appreciate
up
it.
with Isaiah 11:11. So we left with go to that oppression thing, the blacks in the castles. I don't go back to that again. So we showed that we were artistic, we were well learned, cultured in music and so forth, and we dominated the Spanish and the Portuguese. We were the black conquerors, they were the conquered. So, of course, the Most High had it where that eventually became the reverse. And they eventually oppressed us and overthrew us, conquered us. Go back to the other part, not the castles, the other part I had with the blue highlight, with the blue on both sides. We showed y'all a portrait of the Edomites and so forth fighting against us in the castles. Let's get that real quick. So I'm showing y'all that our history is very, 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 very detailed. And it's, Haydn, and y'all learned about the greatest classical musicians ever to exist was your people. Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn, these are all our people. And someone mentioned, what's his name?
Chopin.
Chopin.
I have to look into.
We'll look into him. He was Beethoven's student, right?
I think so. No, he wasn't. He wasn't Beethoven's student. No, he was not. He was
that
Brahms.
era?
He was Brahms' student.
Brahms' student.
Chopin, I believe, was Brahms. No. Brahms was his student. He was around that time
Well,
period.
he was around that time.
Let me
More
see.
likely he was us.
Let me look.
We'll look more into it. Let's just read that while Cap looks for it.
Hey, blow it up for me.
Blow it up, son. Just found this drink. This is good. This goes in conjunction with the black conquerors and the white conquered. Watch this.
In most of the examples cited, of whatever nature, the two great types appeared as enemies.
The two great types appear as enemies. Go ahead.
Which was their natural attitude.
Natural. It was natural. They were natural-born enemies. Go ahead.
And a great number of the legendary instances preserve the memory of this mutual enmity.
Preserve the number of legendary instances or history preserves the memory of this mutual hatred between these two particular races. Watch.
The black giants of the Welsh.
The black giants of the Welsh. Now go back to King Arthur and them. Y'all remember that? Giants, huge. Go ahead.
And other tales are hateful and horrid.
Other tales of these black giants are hateful and horrid. Go ahead.
The Welsh black oppressor.
The Welsh black oppressor. Go ahead.
And the Black Knight of Lancashire.
And the Black Knight of Lancashire. Go ahead.
Are fierce tyrants.
They were referred to as fierce tyrants. Watch this.
The cruel foes of all white people.
What were they?
The cruel foes of all white people.
That's who we were overthrowing in Europe. The cruel foes of all. Some of you Negroes, some of them are good. It says the cruel foes of all white people. Read it again.
The Welsh black oppressor and the Black Knights of Lancashire are fierce tyrants, the cruel foes of all white people.
Damn, go ahead.
At a later date, when the whites were gaining the ascendancy.
What happened?
At a later date.
Later on in time, watch this.
When the whites were gaining the ascendancy.
The whites started taking over again. Renaissance began. They started taking over. Go ahead.
And the blacks were cut up into straggling bands or lurking like the black marl of Galloway.
We start to lose and wander off and scatter. Go ahead.
In solitary dens and forest shades.
We start to live in solitary dens and forests. Go ahead.
Out of which they issue by night.
We would come out by night. Go ahead.
Intent on murder and rapine.
We would come out and attack white folks and kill them. Go ahead.
Even at this stage of their history, the blacks were the dreaded enemies of the whites.
They were the dreaded enemies of the whites. Go ahead.
Indeed, it is of this epoch that the popular imagination
of this epoch, that's time, I think, E-P-O-C-H.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, it is of this time, epoch. Go ahead.
Has most retained the impression. The days of the black oppression.
The days of the black oppression. Go ahead.
Are so remote that their memory only lives in half-forgotten legends. Not so the time when the black castles were owned by another race.
Stop. What? Whoa.
Bring it back.
Whoa.
Bring it
You
back.
gotta rewind that back.
Hey, Jeff, send me that book.
You gotta rewind that back. You had that.
I do?
Well, I'll show you.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Rewind that back. Read it again. Read it again.
All right. Indeed.
Wait. Go back to not half-forgotten legends. Go back to that. The days of what? The days of the black oppression.
Oh, the days of the black oppression are so remote that their memory only lives in half-forgotten legends.
Right. The black oppression has been long forgotten. So we only read bits and pieces of how we ruled over these people, how we conquered the whites.
This is a legend.
It's called a legend, but it's not legend. It's facts. We've been bringing it to y'all for the classes now. Go ahead.
Has retained the days of the black oppression are so remote that their memory only lives in half-forgotten legends.
Right, go ahead.
Not so the time when the black castles were owned by another race.
So when the black castles were owned by the white folks who gained the ascendancy, those weren't half-forgotten legends. That was history. They said we will not allow to happen again.
Whitewash.
We're gonna whitewash everything.
Right.
Whitewash Mozart, whitewash Beethoven, whitewash King Arthur, whitewash Jesus, whitewash the angels, whitewash God, whitewash everything. The Vikings, the knights, everyone, everything. Everything red. Everything will be red washed. Not even whitewash, red washed.
Right.
And also whitewash and demonize them after we do
Right,
that too.
right.
We're gonna take their identity and make them and demonize their whole culture, because barbarian, the name barbarian was heathens, but then later on we became known as barbarians.
No, barbarians was us.
It was us, right?
Berbers. Berbers was barbarians.
But it's not the
Berbers
definition that
things.
it's not the definition. It's the modern day definition is different from the definition back then.
Right. Yes. Right. Read on.
Not so the time when the black castles were owned by another race.
The black castles were now owned by another race. What race? Read on.
And their former masters were skulking among woods and caves.
Wait, and their former what?
Masters were skulking among woods and caves.
Whose former masters? The white people's former masters who were conquered. They're living in our castles. We're now living where they were living, in the woods and caves. They switched the roles. Then they eventually cornered us and sold us out those areas and brought us over here as slaves. That's what happened. Go ahead.
So vivid was the fear of them.
So vivid was the fear of us. Go ahead.
And so lasting its impression.
And our black oppression left a huge impression on Esau, white folks. Go ahead.
That children of the 19th century.
That the children of the 1800s.
Peering into dark recesses, timorously, are peasant girls seeing suddenly their own image reflected by the candle from the dark window pane, shiver all over with apprehension at the vision of the dreaded black man.
We had them terrorized in their sleep.
Now you see why as soon as the police see a black man,
they kill him. Yes.
Because in their mind, they remember that history. They know that history. Hey, we don't know it.
Hey, they let one go for a small second. Nat Turner. They said, as soon as Mozart said, think. Nat Turner said, oh, right, that's the enemy. And what did he do? One man terrorized whole
them.
towns.
Yep. That's why I say in the group that is raised up, we gotta make sure we destroy them.
Yep.
That's Revelations 11.
Yeah, let's get that. 11:11.
Torment
them. That's why we're gonna make sure we're gonna conquer them and never rise again.
Now you see the real truth. Now it's embedded.
Hell.
It's embedded in the spirit.
Their DNA.
In their DNA.
You walk by the white woman, she clench up.
Yep, exactly.
You walk by the car, they lock the door.
Yep.
Scared.
Verse 10. 11 verse 10. Revelation 11:10.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them.
Over us. Them is us.
And make merry. And shall send gifts one to another.
The gifts is us. Go ahead.
Because these two prophets,
Judah and Ephraim, go ahead,
tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
We tormented them to the point where they were scared to look out their window when it was dark outside.
They see a
Fear
shadow.
the black man. See a
Fear
shadow.
It's
Their own
Their
image.
shadow,
They're like, nigga. Meanwhile, it's just their reflection.
Damn.
Go ahead. said the dreaded black man. Now they call him Candyman. Look in the mirror. Candyman, Candyman.
Wow. Right. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Scary black man with a hook hand. We ain't stupid.
And,
Krampus.
Krampus.
Santa's enemy, whatever. Same thing. Go ahead.
A mere imagery imaginary bugbear to them, but a real terror to those from whom they inherited the feeling.
So the kids made the black man folklore, but their parents is like, no, that's not folklore. That's real.
They're real.
Them niggas are real.
That memory haunts us.
Hunts them, right?
Yeah.
Elon Musk is hunting him
Elon
down.
Elon Musk said he's on.
All praises.
Elon
Point with
Musk.
that was.
Okay.
No. That's as soon as he said Elon Musk, I said,
Right.
yeah, he definitely know, and he's.
Oh,
haunted.
he knows 100%.
Elon Musk said recently he's going to sell all his possessions of value to dedicate it all into flying to Mars. He says, I'm going to let y'all know, y'all say I got possessions, I'm going to sell it. Now I don't have nothing now.
Wow.
All my money is going into flying out of here.
My man, to show how
That's
serious
crazy.
he is about
That's
it.
crazy.
I'm
the
good.
richest man on the planet right now is haunted by the idea that black people are going to rule.
Yo, Elon Musk says I'm banning your monetary system, and I'm going to the real place of safety. I'm going to seek refuge. Because all those materialistic things that you put your possession in, no, it doesn't mean anything to what's about to happen to us.
Right. So he thinks, right? So he thinks.
That's why he said by later on this year, he out.
Yeah.
He said later this year.
Hey.
You have to ask yourself, the way things are going right now, the capital being invaded, nations is prepping for war. Korea just said, we're going to put America on its knees.
Yep.
We're going to expand our nuclear arsenal more.
Damn.
So all the nations looking at America, laughing at her. They're like, yo, this is the nation that we afraid of.
This is he?
Their own civilians to come into their capital
Isaiah 14.
and overthrow them like this.
Right.
Is this the man?
America's bitch made. Let's bow these people up. That's what they're saying.
America's pussyfoot.
Right, pretty much.
You said some throwing things out now. Might as well get one in. You know, you gotta get one in.
Might as well see my language, right? That's
Yeah, excuse me too.
My language,
Word in speech, not in knowledge.
Right.
Deacon say, I gotta sneak one in.
This one jab, man. You gotta relish in it. But anyway, America's unraveling, and that U.S. Capitol invasion has proven it beyond a shadow of a doubt. We've been teaching this to y'all since the speaking 70s. America's falling apart. Niggas said you guys are a cult. You guys are crazy. You know what you're talking about. Now you're seeing it firsthand for yourselves. Now you can't say we're crazy no more. Oh, you guys are no, we're not crazy now. Now you see it.
That's right.
And everyone's saying, yo, if black folks that did that, it'd be blood all over. It would be shit, crap on the walls. It'd be black blood on the walls. They'd be cleaning off. And brains from them shooting everybody up.
Right.
They shot one little white lady. Oh, God, they killed 4 white people. Oh, Jesus Christ. But if there had been black folk, they would have killed all of them.
I can't wait for Elon Musk to make it to Mars too.
Me too. Because I
When we
want
get
to
the spiritual
have someone to
power.
hunt.
Yo, Deacon, we gonna fly up there. What Bach playing?
I'm
What
gonna
Beethoven playing?
I want to go up there. I want to go up there with a garment on and roller skates.
Hey, Deacon.
skate in space.
Hey, Deacon. They thought it was niggers now. We gonna have to, we gonna be flying up there with the chariots on speakers, boombox.
Yup, and afros.
Beethoven.
Big afros. Big afros floating in space. Big afros floating in space.
Yep.
It's gonna call Jacob's Requiem.
Right, yeah,
Your
exactly.
funeral, Negro.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You all right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
all
yeah.
right? You
You
stepping
all right.
up in the
You
world.
stepping
up, man. You okay, man?
You all right.
You know,
You know why? He was threatened to lose his job. So he's like,
yeah. You better keep it up too.
Yeah, that's right.
We take your job real quick.
Keep that to people. Very good. Let's get Isaiah 11 now. Isaiah 11:11. Let's
You and
get
your
into
braids.
it. What?
I'm sorry.
Yo, I don't know.
You
what
said you and your braids?
Cat went to the left, man.
I just do that. I didn't think anybody's listening.
Your mic is hot, sir.
Your hatred of hair, man.
You can't take that back.
It's evolving.
Oh, man.
What's that right there? What's that picture? What's that? That the black people? Is that the white folks in black castles?
Cat posters.
No, Captain Gideon.
Oh.
No, you were talking about like we were the rulers of those castles, right?
Yes.
Oh, enlarge this picture real quick.
You blow it up.
Oh, yeah, look at them. All right.
This is Russia, right?
Right.
Who you see here? The
On
president
wall,
of Russia.
On the wall.
Right.
Now, look, on the wall, what do you see?
Black
Nothing
people
but
in
black images. This is Russia. Why, as much as white folks hate us, why would they paint their churches or their buildings with black images? Now, if you can enlarge more to see what picture he's actually looking at in the hands of those what they call them?
Pixelated.
Orthodox.
Czar or something like that? Or?
Orthodox.
Russian. Damn.
I don't know.
What's their religion again?
It's an Orthodox Greek Greek
Orthodox.
Greek Orthodox.
Whatever. The Russian
Christians.
They're Christian.
Yeah,
It's
the Greek Orthodox. Orthodox Greek.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Whatever.
they call them.
But the image is what?
That's black too.
That's
Mary
with the
Christ.
baby.
Black.
With the Christ.
Black Madonna.
And I got that picture too. And then it's like it's silver or gold. The body's made of silver or gold.
The faces are black.
The face is black, jet black. Why they're still like to show you this used to be our castles. You're not gonna walk in any temple. Go to the Sistine Chapel right now. What do you see? White images. Places that where black images on the wall and actually think white folks did that.
Right, and the movie Dracula Untold, and they played in that movie. That's the actual set. That's the actual castle. There's black images all in the back of our castle, all in the back of us in the back. Because in Russia and in Europe, it's known the Jews are black. That's not uncommon to them. They know that already. America is where the majority of Israel is. That's the bubble we're in. They say, listen, we don't mind them niggas knowing they're Jews here in Russia, but the majority of them are in America. Don't tell them that.
And Dick, back in the old days with the old school one was.
Yeah, that story. You get to that story.
Right?
That's good.
That one of the elders was up teaching.
Yes.
And there was a couple that was from Europe visiting. And he was teaching and he called them over. He said, do you know that the real Jews are black? She was like, don't everybody know that? She was like, whoa, wait a minute. No, what do you mean? She, we taught our children that everybody knows the Jews are black. In Europe, they teach that to everybody.
One of the reasons they don't want this truth to be here because the prophecy says what? Judah's gonna wake up his brothers.
Wait,
and
they
where's
say
Judah?
Haiti?
Huh?
Oh Lord!
Prophecy didn't say Haiti, right?
Hey, hold up. And his brothers helped him.
Did it
and his brothers helped.
That's not the prophecy at all.
They say hear the voice from Haiti.
you try. That's a crash and burn, Cap. Crash and burn, brother. Crash and burn. You doing good. You were doing good, man.
We are of the kingdom of Judah. Okay?
That's right.
Bring
it out.
Yo, why are you here?
And also, because it got to be precept on precept, we are all from the waters of Judah.
Oh, man.
Man. So,
there's no bomb. There's no bomb. See that hatred, man? There's no bomb. No sling, no knife, no nothing. Bro, man,
Hey, give him the sound of rocks.
Yo,
hey, brothers from Haiti, I'm sorry. Just in advance, we got a couple more months. Quite a few months to Day of Atonement.
He don't mean that. He don't mean that.
Wow.
He don't mean it.
Yeah, Isaiah 11, man. Isaiah 11.
He don't mean it.
He doesn't mean it at all. Isaiah 11:11. Terrible, man.
Rocks. I love you, brother. I'm sorry. Forgive me. 70 times 7.
Tough love, man.
Deep prejudice and cat, man.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. You said 11, right?
Yeah, you can stop 11. Yeah, 11's fine.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Remnant of his people. Go ahead. Which are where?
Which shall be left from Assyria.
So Syria, go ahead.
And from Egypt.
Egypt is that'll be Upper Egypt.
And from Pathros.
Lower Egypt.
And from Cush.
Ethiopia.
And from Elam.
India, Iran, that region.
And from Shinar.
That's Iraq.
And from Hamath.
Hamath is central Syria. Central Syria.
And from the islands of the sea.
Wherever there's islands in the sea and the earth, Israel's there. Full of Seychelles, Madagascar.
Seychelles,
Philippines, Seychelles.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Go ahead.
And he shall set up an
that's all I want. So Israel's in Egypt, Syria, Iran, India, Mesopotamia, Syria, and so forth, islands of the sea. Keep that in mind. It's Zephaniah 3 and 10 now.
Can we also say the islands of the sea is going to the Caribbean islands as well?
All of that. I said every island. Caribbean island, everywhere. Okay. Everywhere part of the world. Islands. Cape Verde. St. Thomas, St. Thomas Islands, everywhere. Islands of the sea is everywhere. Zephaniah 3 and 10.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed shall bring mine offering.
That's all I want. So it says beyond the rivers of Ethiopia that goes into the Nile, Blue Nile, White Nile, that flow westward. Israel's along all of those rivers that flow from Ethiopia and downwards. Because Ethiopia is right under Egypt, and Egypt is right next to Israel. The waters flow all together from there. Because Israel is in Africa. The land of Israel is part of Africa. It's in Africa. It is Africa. It's part of it. All right? So now, and it spreads, okay, of course, it spreads to Northeast Africa. It spreads into the so-called known East, all right? Or so-called Middle East, whatever. All right, so now, let's get Jewish diaspora again, page 455.
Oh, Deacon, somebody just I forgot about that. Somebody just wrote on the comment board. Also, the original piano had black keys with white accidentals keys. But sometime after the Renaissance, Esau switched it so that the main keys are white and accidental
black
keys
keys
are
are
black.
small.
I remember that.
Damn.
I do remember that. Learning that a few years ago.
Yeah, that's
the original
deep.
keys were black.
Wow.
Yeah, that's deep.
changed it around.
Change it around.
For the
show
accidental
dominance.
keys. Yep.
What?
I do remember. Bring up a picture. I do remember studying that
So
years
what
ago.
you're saying is the ancient piano keys,
Yes.
the prominent ones were black.
Yes.
And the minor ones were white.
Yes, yes.
And Esau
That is
Renaissance
true.
came around and made the prominent ones white and the
Yep.
small ones black.
Yep.
Wow, man.
Yep, that's true.
The thought of everyone.
I hate.
That
Thought
goes
it's deep.
Remember it said in that book, the mutual hatred. Yeah. That's Esau and Jacob. That's what that whole thing was Esau and Jacob.
Perpetual hatred.
Perpetual. But listen, the hatred, the point I want is, it says mutual. So we would never, ever love each other like ever. We shared the same womb. We fought in the womb. Our mother was suffering. If it be so, she said, why am I thus? We were fighting in the womb. Then when he came out the womb, we still fighting. Jacob grabbed on his ankle. We still fighting. The hatred was embedded in us from the moment the Lord formed us to hate each other.
Hey, Israel, if you like fighting against your brother, check your lineage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Check his spirit.
Yeah, check that. You might
be Esau.
Hey, Deke, that's heavy
That's
too.
deep right there. That's heavy.
Hey, if you keep apologizing and keep stabbing your brother, check your lineage.
Oh, ooh. Swing.
What's going on?
No, nothing,
he's
sir.
trying to
We're
find
just making a point.
was
to what Deacon
making a
said.
point.
I sent it to the group.
Oh, you sent it to them already?
Yo, what are we doing here?
Hey,
Oh,
Deke,
Yo, let brotherly love continue.
I wasn't even.
You see that?
That's why we there, bro. You love.
No, bring up the article I sent.
If you see your brother in sin, you gotta pull him back out of the
I see him
fire.
right there. I saw a picture right
Yep,
there.
yep.
Oh,
I got an
There you
article.
go.
I got an article.
we have an article of it. Wow.
I remember this. I forgot about this. Thank you.
All praises, all
Yes, all
praises.
praises. Israel, let's go home.
See, that's why it pays for you brothers. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Enlarge it.
Piano.
Piano black keys were white, and white keys were black in the past. Go down.
you gotta be kidding me, man.
Yo, hey, with the brown rights, everything.
That's why it's change everything. Brown sugar. Brown sugar. It turn it to white.
Yeah.
Brown rice.
Enlarge it.
Yeah, turn it to white.
Chocolate cake is double cake.
Right.
Angel cake is white.
White cake. Yeah. White chocolate.
White
Where they get white
chocolate.
chocolate from?
Right.
Vanilla is
You
really,
got talking to the mic, sir.
vanilla is really black.
Right,
The
it is.
stick is black.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that is true.
That
That
makes
is true.
sure.
What?
You didn't know that?
Well, you know, just from
Oh,
he went to a black school.
Oh, damn.
But what you got?
Oh,
Read on.
gosh.
Come on.
Just read.
All of us who are acquainted with the piano know that the keyboard consists of a series of white and black keys. The naturals which make up most of the keyboard are white. While the sharps and flats which make up the rest of the keys are black. However, what is not commonly known is that centuries ago, the colors on the piano were reversed. Black naturals and white sharps.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we want. So the blacks were the dominant keys and the whites were the inferior keys.
All praise.
Now it's vice versa now.
Yep.
So he makes certain to erase anything, any sign or symbolism of black supremacy, reverse it.
Hey, Deacon, the last book we just read about the black oppression. Remember, he said these two great types.
Yes, these two great types, the
Esau
black and
and
white.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm. Esau and Jacob.
And also, D, that goes back to something very fundamental our people always bring to us in camp. Color doesn't matter.
Yes.
Of course it matters. Something as simple as a piano, he feels that it's important to change the color. Come on.
Yep. So where we at? What's this?
Jews in
Yes.
Algeria.
Page 455, and I want start at Jews in Algeria, go to the 10,000 BC. Where's it? 10,000. Go down. Okay, right there. Go up. 10,000 BC. It says Berbers or Imagine.
Settled in Algeria.
That's Kassala and them, and well, of course you gotta be mindful of that date. Kassala and them, and Daya and them. Now read 1,000. Read that one. 1,000.
1000 BC. Carthaginians settled on the coast.
Watch this.
Jews live in at least 7 coastal cities.
See, that's King Solomon David's time. Go ahead, go down to 200.
200 BCE. Carthage falls to the Romans.
Why Hannibal fell to the Romans? Come on.
Emerging Berber kingdoms.
Emerging what?
Emerging Berber kingdoms become independent. Some Berber tribes, notably those led by Queen Kalhina,
See that?
convert to Judaism before Islam spreads to the region.
They were already in Judaism before Islam came around. They did not convert to anything. They were already Jews. I'm going to bring that out. Go ahead.
Jews live in many major Muslim cities, as stated in early descriptions of Tahrir, the Rustamid capital. Berbers are again independent in much of the western region.
Right, independent because they were fighting against the Muslims, but some of them did convert over time. 5th and 6th century, read that.
5th and 6th century BC, Vandal conquest of Algeria.
Vandals are Edomites. The Vandals are like vandalizing, thieves, and you vandalize property. That's based upon them. Vandals. They're called Vandals. These are the Edomites that from which I believe King Ferdinand and Isabella, there's Visigoths, Vandals, that's all the same. There's different white families that gained certain portions of Africa and Europe before the Moors came over and pushed their asses out of there and conquered them. Read again, Vandals again.
Vandal conquest of Algeria marked the period. Under the later rule of Eastern Byzantine Christians, Emperor Justinian I.
Right, so the Emperor Byzantine Emperor Justinian, who was a Negro, he was the worst ever. He was they had somewhat a colony in Carthage. All right, remember I said earlier when Cassala went to war against the Muslims, the Byzantines helped him. Okay, and he was a Christian. Go ahead.
Jews are subjected to social, religious, and economic restrictions.
Right, because the Byzantines had dominion over that region of land from which the Jews resided in that area, Algeria or the Maghreb. All right? So some of them converted over to Christianity, which consisted of Cassala the emperor, the Berber king. He was a Christian. Okay, he converted over to pagan Christianity, while Daya was in Judaism. So they were at peace. So they believed in the same thing. Okay, to an extent. Now, go to Wikipedia again. Daya. We're gonna go to origins and her religion. We're going to stop at legends. No, questionable. We're going to end at extremely questionable. So go to Daya, Wikipedia, origin, right there. Start from there. Right there. Go down. You're there already. Yes. We're going to stop at extremely questionable. Come on.
Her personal name is one of these variations. Daya, Daya, or Damya. Her title was cited by Arabic language sources as Al-Kahina, the prophetess soothsayer.
They called it a witch. They called it a prophetess. They called it a priestess, witch, soothsayer. We're going to find out why the Arabs, because she went to war. She was going to war against the Muslims. The Arabs are trying to invade the Maghreb, from which she was a queen of. After Cassala died fighting them, she took over, and they call her a priestess witch. You're going to find out why, because she kept beating them. Go ahead, read on.
This was the nickname given to by her Muslim opponents.
Right.
Because of her alleged ability
to what?
To foresee the future.
Because she can see the future. So when she went to war with them, they kept losing because she knew what they were going to do. So she had spiritual power or visions. This sister here. All right, read on.
She was born into the Zanata tribe.
Zanata tribe, go ahead.
In the early 7th century. For 5 years, she ruled a free Berber state.
It said Zwara?
Zwara.
Click that real quick.
Zwara Zanata.
Right, keep that in mind. She was born into the Zwara Zanata tribe. I don't know why I had that highlighted, but there's a reason for it. Read that.
Jarar, or
Berber tribe.
Rar, were a nomadic Berber Zanata tribal confederacy who probably converted to Christianity.
Right, I got Cassala did. Go ahead.
The Berber tribe ruled in northwest Africa before and during the 7th century.
Now remember, it showed you before, episodes ago, how the disciples taught in that area, in Mauritania. They taught there. So a lot of them already converted over to the Christian faith, not the Christian faith of the Roman Empire, but the Christian faith of the disciples, the true Christian faith, the Judeo-Christian faith, okay, including her. But she was already Israel, okay? Go ahead.
Under Queen Daya, the tribe led the Berber resistance against the Umayyad Islamic invasion in the late 7th century.
Right, in the late 7th century. Go back. Click back now. Go back to where we was at. and continuing to it ends at extremely questionable.
She was born into the Jarar Zanata tribe in the early 7th century. For 5 years, she ruled a free Berber state from the Aras Mountains to the oasis of Agademes, 695 to 700 Common Era. But the Arabs, commanded by Musa bin Nasir,
Musa ben Nasir, go ahead.
returned with a strong army and defeated her. She fought at the El Dajin Roman amphitheater, but finally was killed in combat near a well that still bears her name, Bur al-Kahina and Ars.
Right, she fought, so she died. So she was fighting too, fighting the Arabs. We're gonna find out how she was defeated later on. Go ahead.
Accounts from the 19th century on claim she was of Jewish religion are.
She was what?
Accounts from the 19th century on claim she was of Jewish religion are that her tribe were Judaized Berbers.
See? They were Jews. They were Jews observing Judaism. Berbers observing Judaism. Go ahead.
According to al-Maliki, she was accompanied in her travels by an idol. Both Muhammad Talbi and Gabriel Camps interpreted this idol as a Christian icon, either of Christ, the Virgin, or a saint protecting the queen.
So she had idols on her. It might have been, who knows, if it was the Black Messiah depiction or white, who knows? Most likely the black.
I think it's the picture you saw earlier with the Virgin Mary.
It might have been that, maybe.
With the sun.
We don't doesn't say. I don't want to speculate. But go ahead.
Muhammad Hassan Fantar held that this icon represented a separate Berber idol, and thus made Daya a pagan. However, Daya being a Christian remains the most likely hypothesis.
Right, she was followed Judaism. Go ahead.
The ideal that the Jarar were Judaized comes from the medieval historian Ibn Khaldun, who named them among 7 Berber tribes.
Go ahead.
Hershberg and Talbi note that Ibn Khaldun seems to have been referring to a time before the advent of the late Roman and Byzantine Empire.
Before, so they were following the Christianity before the Byzantine Empire. They were following a Judaism of the disciples, not pagan Rome. Go ahead.
And a little later in the same paragraph seems to say that by Roman times, the tribes had become Christianized. As early as 1963, the Israeli historian H.Z. Hershberg, and retranslating the text of Ibn Khaldun and rigorously repeating the whole document, questioned this interpretation and, in general, the existence of large Jewish Berber tribes in the end of antiquity. In the words of H.D. Hershberg, of all the known movements of conversion to Judaism and incidents of Judaizing, those connected with the Berbers and Sudanese in Africa are the least authenticated. Whatever has been written on them is extremely questionable.
But I'm going to prove it's not questionable. They were Jews. All right? Extremely questionable. Keep going.
Over 4 centuries after her death, Tunisian hagiographer al-Maliki seems to have been among the first to state she resided in the Aras Mountains.
Did we stop at legends? Where's the legends? Look for legends. I want to end it there. I don't want to go to real bunch of stuff. Gift of prophecy and end in legends.
Go.
Yeah. Keep going. Okay, that's right. That's fine. Keep going. That's fine. Wherever you're at, keep reading from there and read down. I just want to make sure I'm not going too far or reading too much. Okay, keep going.
Just 7 centuries after her death, the pilgrim al-Tajini was told she belonged to the Lawata tribe. When the later historian Ibn Khaldun came to write his account, he placed her with the Jarar tribe.
Right.
According to various Muslim sources,
watch this.
Al-Kahina was the daughter of Tabat, or some say Mataya. These sources depend on tribal genealogies, which were generally concocted for political reasons during the 9th century. Ibn Khaldun records many legends about Daya.
Go ahead, keep going.
A number of them refer to her long hair or great size, both legendary characteristics of sorcerers. She is also supposed to have had the gift of prophecy.
Because she was a Levite princess. The prophecy. Go ahead.
And she had 3 sons. Which is characteristic of witches in legend.
That's what they said. That was their account of her. They said she was a witch because she was able to see visions when she fought against them and was whipping their behind. They said she's a witch. So they called her a priestess, but she was a Levite sister. What they say. All right? That's all I want. So now, let's get War of the Jews.
Sound like the same thing they did to us on this side.
Pretty much.
The prophets over here.
With the Native American, call them shamans and witches too.
Remember the disciples? They call them magicians.
They call them magicians, right. Same thing.
Just because you can't do it doesn't make you call us a name.
Right.
I can't do it, so you're this.
Kind of sound like niggas today, too. Well, you guys Rosicrucians. Same thing. Page 191. Page 191. Let's see. 191.
Israel, let's get those likes up. We have 599 likes. We have 900 watches. We need 900 likes. Let's do it. Let's like it now, Israel. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Page 191.
What we got to do is click the like button. The thumbs up, not the thumbs down.
We're going to stop at... We're going to read the whole page, 191. This is a short paragraph. So this is the wars of the Afro-Asian Jews. Afro-Asian Jews. Afro, or some would say Afro-Asiatic, which means Negroes of the East. Jews. Eastern Negro Jews. That's what it means. Asian means the East. Read on. The wars of the Afro-Asian Jews. Read that.
66 years have passed since the zealot flame of Jewish warriors last burned on earth, and the fiery star of Halley's comet blazed in the heavens above. In 694 Common Era, there were uprisings in both North Africa and northern Persia, involving the Jews and Berbers in the west.
Come on.
And the Jews and Kurds in the east.
Mm-hmm.
While the Arab caliphates were being challenged on these two fronts, the Maronites of Lebanon rose up against the Byzantines.
Right. You had two opposing religions trying to impose their religions on other nations. Christianity on one side, pagan Christianity on one side, Islam on the other, trying to push their religions. They were fighting each other to do it. Fighting each other to do it. Go ahead.
For centuries, Jews have been living at peace with the Semitic Negroid Berbers.
Stop. Read it again.
For centuries, Jews have been living at peace with the Semitic Negroid Berbers.
They were living at peace with Semitic Negroid Berbers. This is the same people. They were at peace because they were the same people. They were Semitic Negroids. I thought Negroes did ham. Watch. Read that statement. Watch this. Read again.
For centuries, Jews have been living at peace with the Semitic Negroid Berbers.
With Semitic Negroid Berbers. Go ahead.
Or Hamitic Berbers.
Wait a minute. Aren't Negroes Hamitic? How are Berbers Semitic Negroes? That means that the Negroes are Semitic.
Right.
Which means that they're in relation to the Jew. They are in relation to the Jews. They are in relation to the Jews. Go ahead. Or the Hamitic, because those are the original inhabitants of that region. Also, you had Hamites there also. Go ahead.
Or Hamitic Berbers in lands we call Morocco.
In lands we call what?
Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia.
The Maghreb. Go ahead.
After 1000 BCE, the Barbary coast was settled by Phoenicians from Lebanon.
After 1000 BC, you had Ham and Jake living in this land. Go ahead.
And Canaanite Semitic people who spoke a dialect akin to Hebrew.
This is our people. Go ahead.
Their city-states of Utica and Carthage, Hadesh, our new city.
Watch this.
Were ruled by Safet.
We're going to prove who the Phoenicians are right here. Go ahead. We're ruled by a what?
A Safet.
Go ahead.
Akin to the Israelite Shaphat, our judge.
That's how you know it's Israel. That's how you know it's the Israelites that colonized that land. They had Israelite judges, Shaphats. That's what Hannibal was called. He was called a Shaphat as well. All right? So now, let's get... So we know what we're talking about. They try to shout at a mystery. You don't know what they are. It's questionable. No, it's not.
Right.
They're Jews. Let's get page 122, same book. Page 122. We're going to start at... Turbo. General Turbo. Is that in here?
Admiral Turbo.
That gotta be it.
Right. Admiral Turbo and the new Emperor Hadrian had landed with fresh troops destroying the rebels in Libya, Alexandria, and Cyprus, and restoring order in Syria and Judea. That's it, D?
No.
Down?
I put General there. No, it's the bottom paragraph. General Turbo had better fortune. It's the bottom paragraph. Right there. I knew I was there. You go. Right there.
General Turbo had better fortune, and the Jews suffered far worse in the Libyan theater. Reconquering Cyrenaica,
Libya.
The entire million-strong Jewish population.
The entire what?
The entire million-strong Jewish population
Remember, Israel was in Libya also. As the 11, Israel's over there in that region. Go ahead.
of the province was massacred. It was said that the Mediterranean Sea was drenched with blood as far as the shores of Cyprus.
Damn. The Romans are killing us by the millions. You know why? We tried to revolt. We tried to zealot. We were zealots. We tried to fight against Rome again. And General Turbo came and put the smack down on us, man. Beat our behinds. Killed us to the point where it says what? The sea was what? Was drenched.
It was said that the Mediterranean Sea was drenched with blood as far as the shores of Cyprus.
It's a lot of dead Israelites. A lot. That's what Christ said, flee. He didn't say fight against Rome. He said flee to the mountains. Israel does not listen. Continue.
Cyrene was devastated, with the Romans turning most of the region into a desert. The zealot spirit of Jewish rebellion was to survive the Jewish presence there, as the Libyans waged a
series of wars against Rome, which led to the decline of Roman influence throughout North Africa. We're gonna end that Sephardic community. Go ahead. We're gonna stop there.
Moving next to Cyprus, Turbo and a large fleet besieged the island and starved out the Jews and Phoenicians.
Israelites. Phoenicians are Israelites too. Go ahead.
So bitter was the invective against the Jewish rebels that Jews were prohibited from ever setting foot on the island.
Damn.
This law was not rescinded until
rescinded
until the Turkish conquest of Cyprus in 1571.
Go ahead.
Those Egyptian and Libyan Jews who survived a counter massacre of Romans and Greeks fled into the desert to be swallowed up in the Great Sahara.
See that? We fled into the Sahara Desert. Go ahead.
This vast land was not yet the complete desert. It was to become in later centuries.
So it wasn't completely a desert during this time. It was somewhat tropical. Later on, it became a complete desert. Go ahead.
But this forbidden and vast area that the Romans had no desire to occupy offered the Jews a route of escape.
So the Romans didn't chase us that far because they were unfamiliar with the area. So we gained refuge in the Sahara Desert, okay, and migrated further on. Go ahead.
From here, they made their way from oasis to oasis.
From oasis to oasis. Go ahead.
Working their way westward.
Working their way where?
Westward.
Westward. Go ahead.
Until they came to the Atlas Mountain region of Morocco.
So we ended up migrating where? West Africa. Go on.
Here among the Berber tribes.
Here among who?
The Berber tribes of southern Morocco. The Jews found refuge and peace.
Because their brothers are already there.
Right, same people.
The same. Oh, you were here too? Oh, all praises. Our family was there. The Berbers are our family. They were there. The Berbers were our family. They were there already. From the time of 10,000, or 1,000 BC. Go ahead.
These Berbers were not new to them, nor was their land.
These Berbers were not new to them. Why? Because they're the same people. That's why. Go ahead.
Their Phoenician cousins had settled there 1,000 years before.
Their what?
Their Phoenician cousins had settled there
1,000 years before. They went to where their family was. Their Phoenician cousins, that's us, that traveled there 1,000 years before. We were already there. From the time of Babylon, Assyria, we were already there. From the time of David, from Solomon, we were already there. So we said, okay, our family's over there in that side of Africa. Let's just go over there. We'll be safe over there. Was what did Christ say to do? Flee. See, Israel learned after the fact. We get our ass beat. Oh, yeah, didn't Christ say flee? Yeah, let's go flee now. After your damn blood is on the Mediterranean Sea, the Cyprus, you realize, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't fight the Romans. Maybe we should run. Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead.
The Phoenicianized Moors.
Whoa. We got to slow down. The what?
The Phoenicianized Moors.
The Phoenicianized Moors. What are Phoenicians? Israelites. What are they called? Moors. Go ahead.
Of Mauritania.
Of where?
Mauritania.
Mauritania is the land of the Moors. Mauritania. Morocco was originally Mauritania also. It was called Morocco later. That name Morocco has a meaning also. I'll get to that another time. Go ahead.
Were receptive to Jewish settlement.
They were what?
Receptive to Jewish settlement.
Why? Because they were the same people that resided there initially.
And also, remember, the disciples went over there.
And the disciples went over there and taught in Mauritania. The disciples went and taught there. So they were very receptive. Come on.
And peace reigned for over 1,000 years.
We were good for over 1,000 years in that area. Go ahead.
The Jews and Moors together resisted the Arab invader.
In fact, this goes back to Revelation, where she shall flee. The woman fled from the face of the serpent. Let's get that real quick. We ain't got much time. We got 5 minutes. Damn. Real quick. Let's get that real quick. Then go back. We're going to finish this paragraph. You know what I want, right? Let's get that real quick. Her fleeing. Revelation, what, 12?
Yep, 12 and 6.
Yeah, let's get that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
Africa, go ahead.
Where she hath a place prepared of God.
Refuge, place of refuge. Go ahead, but God allowed her. Go ahead.
That they should feed her there 1,203 days.
Right, that place is going into over here, but the wilderness is Africa. Then over time, we eventually end up and serve that 1,200, that says that 1,203 days. That's going into 350 years, going into us being brought over here. But the wilderness in this verse is referring to Africa. Further into the interiors of Africa, where she shall reside, it says 1,000 years.
Verse 14 too. Verse 14.
Yeah, read verse 14.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a times, and half a time from the face of the serpent.
Right. To her place, going to read again, 14 again.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness.
Into the wilderness, Africa, go ahead.
And to her place.
And then eventually she'll be conquered there and go into her place, go ahead.
Where she is nourished for a time and times, and a half a time.
The time and times, a half a time goes back to verse 6 where it says 1,203 days. That's 350 years. Time and times, 100, and another half 100, 350 years. That's going into. But the wilderness in that verse is going into Africa. That's what we're reading about right now. Christ said flee into the mountains and flee into the wilderness. It's the same thing. Go back.
The Jews and Moors together resisted the Arab invaders some 500 years later under the Jewish Berber Queen Kahina.
Wait. The Jews and what?
The Jews and Moors together resisted the Arab invader some 500 years later under the Jewish Berber Queen Kahina.
Right, Jewish Berber. See what she's called? A Jewish Berber? She's an Israelite. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
They finally eked out a partial freedom under Arab domination.
Because when she lost, we had to what? Succumb to their demands. Go ahead.
Of the region, together with the Moors and Arabs.
Together with the Moors and Arabs. Go ahead.
These North African Jews.
These what?
North African Jews.
North African Jews. Go ahead.
Would participate in the 8th century conquest of Spain.
So when we got conquered by the Arabs, we succumbed to Islam. Some of us did not, but most of us succumbed to Islam. And under that regime of Islam, what do? Read again.
Together with the Moors and Arabs, these North African Jews will participate in the 8th century conquest of Spain and in the enlargement there of a great Spanish Jewish or Sephardic community.
See that? And that is the beginning of the rise of the Moors. So we're going to stop it there. Stop there. We're going to go into more detail of that next week, Lord's will. All right? So all praise to the Lord for that. Hope y'all enjoyed today's class. Shout outs to the IT team. They did an excellent job. Shout outs to the breakfast team as well. Excellent job as usual. I can't say thank you enough to all of you. And shout outs to the audience for watching and for viewing. Those of you who are scoffing and scorning, you're going to die anyway. All praise to the Lord. Or repent, one or the other. But all praise to the Lord. We got this information out there. Cap. Also shout out to Captain Gideon for joining us. Thank you, all praise to the Lord for your visit. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, sir.
Today. Welcome.
Hey,
I ain't gonna take it today.
Yeah, let me say something.
Wow, Cabby's down. Wow, what's so much information?
Donation to the book club.
Yes. Hey, shout out to our viewers like Captain brought out earlier. You guys watching, and this thing is interesting, and you also bringing information to the table, stuff that we missed out on that as far as the piano having all blackie. So your viewing is important. Subscribe and like to the channel, all right? And as you can see, Deacon's taking this to another level. It's actually making history fun. You know what I mean? It's bringing that essence back to who you are, all right? Do remember, Like and subscribe our page, IUIC Radio.
I'm sorry. Before I forget, last week I mentioned that Negritia was little black people. That's wrong. Negritia is Negro land / Igbo land. That's where we're looking at now. The Maghreb, that's that area right there. West Africa, so forth, is Negritia. Negritia is Negro land. All right, and they had Negritians in the book right here. J. Rogers, Nation Knows a Color Line. He mentions the gladiators were Negroes, Moors, and Negritians. Negritians are the Berbers that were fighting as gladiators also. All Israelites. Phoenicianized, Moors, same thing. Negritians, Negro land, same thing. All right, so I want to bring out. I don't want to forget. So I'm going to try and go over that again next week. All right? Go ahead. Where you at? I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. So support the page, Our Hidden History Radio. Also, IUIC Boosters Club. Have your donation. As you all know, if you've been following, those of you who don't know, we have IUIC TV. You can get it on Amazon, Fire Stick, and this is how we're going to be pushing our information moving forward. So like and subscribe, download it so you can always be in tune with what's going on in your nation.
Right. And as you know, Esau has shut us down on YouTube. IUIC in the Classroom shut down the events. So we eventually, over time, we're going to need y'all to make certain that you subscribe to the Our Hidden History channel, Our Hidden History Radio channel on YouTube, because eventually we may have to end up filming from there, airing from there over time. But just try to, subscribe to that. All right. Okay.
Also, you forgot IUIC.New Jersey.
Yes. I don't have that information.
If you'd like to donate to, like I said, Our Hidden History Radio Show, you can donate to IUIC.New Jersey at IsraelUnite.org. Once again, IUIC.New Jersey at IsraelUnite.org. Put it in the description box, Captain Joel's Book Fund. If you'd like to fund...
That's misinformation.
Misinformation entirely.
So that we could fund Our Hidden History Radio Show. So let's put Captain Joel Book Fund.
No, do not. No. And Lord's will also will open the calls next week. I'm sorry about that. I get caught up in some stuff. I gotta bring it out. So next week we'll answer the calls. If you have anyone wants to call in, you're more than welcome to next week. I will definitely answer the calls. All right.
Yes. Also, like and subscribe IUIC Philadelphia in the Classroom. Like and subscribe IUIC Philadelphia in the Classroom. All praise to the Most High. Till we see you next time. To Our Hidden Radio.
Oh! You gotta get with that, Cat. We'll teach you that thing.
I mean, it's not a problem. Yeah. Subscribe. IUIC. Boston.
Shalom, Most High. Christ bless you. We love you.
Searching for the road to the way back.